Hello everyone and welcome to Nat One's One Shot Wednesdays. Now, we are again playing yet another system for the very first time ever. Something that we've found quite difficult to wrap our heads around as normally D&D players. But it's okay, because we're all fresh to this, including me, Jenna, who is going to run this this module called the House on Poplar Court. It's kids on bikes. It is a very, very, very rules-light system, and that's probably why we're all baffled by it, because, you know, we love that crunch of D&D. So, we've got Peach with us. We'll just go around as like a, you know, we'll introduce ourselves anyway as people, and then we'll get kicking right into it.
Okay.
Jenna, by the way, your webcam's on.
My webcam's on?
It's on the screen.
Oh, weird.
It's just a black box.
Oh, there we go. Right. Okay. Deleted it. Okay. So. Oh, and if I was an 80s bicycle, I would be a Schwinn Stingray in a copper.
Sure. Okay, do I go first?
Yeah,
I'll go on then. So, you guys know me. Sasha, Peach, you know, whatever. What am I sort of explaining?
Just saying who you are and who you're playing.
Oh, I am, well, I've already said that.
Yep.
I'll be playing Cassandra Jones, the local tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theorist.
Nice.
And if I was a 1980s bike, I'd be Will Byers, because I'm practically a Mustang.
Who are you passing to?
I'm passing it to Cade of the Glade, of course.
Howdy, I'm Cadence, they, them. I'll be playing Lamont Daniels, and if I was an 80s bike, I would be anything with a banana seat.
Yeah. Excellent. Who are you passing to?
I will pass to Jason.
Hey, I like this one. They actually call me Jason and not fucking Jason too. Hi guys, I'm Jason. I am playing Xian Mei. And if I was a bike, I would be a Cervelo Caledonia 105 bike.
All right.
Yeah. Very specific.
Mine was more meaningful.
Well, it was the bike that my grandfather rode for the
It's
longest
like
time, so
it's a racer, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah. Nice. Who are you passing to?
Andrew, let's go.
Hello, Nat Wannabes. I'm Andrew. I'm going to be playing Theo Easton, the leader of the Investigators Club. And if I were a 1980s bicycle, well, I wouldn't be a bicycle at all. I'd be a unicycle, but I'd still have a little flower basket on. After that, I'm going to pass to Nathan.
I'm Nathan. I'm playing Anya Pandey, the Indian, businesswoman. And if I were a bicycle from the 80s, I'd actually be a tricycle, because quirky.
Nice. Okay, so as the last bell rang, signalling the end of another school day, a group of kids gathered outside Hebron High School, huddled around the flagpole. It was Friday, August 13th, 1985. The weather was perfect, with the late afternoon sun casting a warm golden glow over the scene, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves on the trees, carrying with it the scent of freshly cut grass from a nearby football field. It was a moment, frozen in time, a snapshot of a time where friendships were forged and everything was new. Anya.
So, Anya Pandey is an Indian girl. Her parents are striving her for success. She has big aspirations for the future, a degree from Harvard Law, as well as position as CEO for a Fortune 500 company. And she currently is 14 years old. She's the youngest person in this group. And she currently is sitting on the floor filling out an application for Harvard University for very, very early application. And she is occasionally checking her watch just to see what time it is, because she is very organized. She likes to, keep a schedule for what she should be doing throughout the day.
Okay. Cassandra Jones. She's a black girl. She's incredibly smart. She's actually 5 GPA. Yeah, just saying. But she uses that. They say genius and madness are 2 sides of the same coin, and she uses her intelligence more to build new conspiracy theories and such. She's a little bit strange, quite paranoid, but she tries to be nice. And she's stood up next to, she just stood next to Lamont or whatever, and she's writing with her pink pen in her notebook, which has written on the front of it, Cassandra's big book of conspiracies, and she's actually wearing the Letterman jacket that Lamont gave to her like a year ago when it was cold and rainy, and she had to walk home. So that's my lore.
Lamont Daniels is a black 15-year-old. He is a star athlete on the Hebron Hawks, but he also partakes in the drama club and plays the trumpet and band. Really nice guy, friendly, gets along well with pretty much everyone. And at the moment, he's just standing tall with his hands in the pockets of his jeans, standing next to Cassandra and just chatting away.
Xian is a 15-year-old person who goes by they, them. They about 5'4", bowl cut, wire rim glasses. They're kind of doing their own thing. They are currently fiddling around with a bunch of popsicle sticks, some wiring that they used bent paper clips out of, and rubber bands. And as she finishes a little rubber band helicopter, they kind of let it off into the distance and goes off with the work.
You see that several people obviously coming out of the school, laughing, holding books, chatting with each other, walking all the way down, meeting parents in cars, and Lamont, you see Samantha waiting at the corner. She sort of looks over to you and waves expectantly. And then you see Theo running towards you.
So Theo is a white dude, 16 years old. You could describe his hair as inspired by Clark Kent, but it's become a little bit overgrown since then. He walks with his body quite straight and rigid. His shoulders are kind of held firm until he sees his friends and they relax a little bit and he starts to jog over to them.
Mm-hmm. Samantha, being a 6-year-old little girl, she sort of sees Theo come running over, and she makes this gesture that's sort of like a huge sigh, and she drops her hands, and a tiny little pink backpack sort of sticks up a little bit at the back as she hunches forward ugh, and just stands tapping her foot, looking at you, Lamont. Theo.
Theo will approach everyone. Right, guys. So, as I said, are you all ready? This is huge.
What are we doing again?
Well, I called y'all here. School's done. This is a bit of a debrief, but this is another one of them missions. We gotta make preparations. We gotta get ready for tonight. I say this all the time, but this is big. This is huge. This is like the stuff that I've heard, right? And Officer Michaels, it's the kind of stuff that he closes his eyes, walks away, pretends nothing's ever happening. There's no telling just how big this can be. He's making eye contact with everybody in turn as he goes down. So you know the house down on Poplar Court, right? The one that's all boarded up, nobody ever goes there?
Yeah?
Yeah, that one? Well, I've heard a rumor. People have been hearing things from in there. So if no one ever goes in, and no one ever comes out, how are there sounds coming from that house? You get my drift? You get what we need to do?
So you're saying we should go check out this house, see what's making this noise?
I'm saying somebody needs to. I know Officer Michaels knows. They've been telling people. I mean, if I've heard about this, you know other people have heard about this. And nobody's saying dick about it. So if no one's going to step up and find out. I even heard from someone, there's mixed reports. I heard it's like, it kind of gives shifty eyes to the women of the group and kind of leans more to Lamont for it. It's a woman crying, like a kid, crying in the house. I mean, if no one's going to step up for that, I think the IC should do something about it, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I definitely think we should check it out, but what time is this going to be going down? You know I like to keep a schedule.
Well, we finished school. Everybody needs time to prep. Everybody needs time to shake their parents off, right? See, I got this idea. I mean, y'all's bedtimes might be a bit earlier than mine. You can slip out just as easy, but I'm going to have to, like, fake a headache, go to bed early so my mom doesn't come in and check on me. But I'm going to sneak out about, when's the sunset? About 8, half 8. We want to be under the cover of darkness for this. We don't want anybody seeing us trying to break into the house. So if we all meet up, thinking by the bus stop, about half 8.
Break into a house? Theo, that could get us in a lot of trouble. I mean, it's dangerous.
Hey, I know it sounds bad. It sounds worse than it actually is, though. Like, you think no one's gone into this house. We're not breaking into somebody's property. There's somebody that needs help in that house. We're not doing a bad thing here.
I mean, Cass, doesn't this seem a little weird to you?
You're right. It seems incredibly weird, and I think we need to get to the bottom of it. You took the words right out of my mouth, Xian.
I knew you were the right guys for this.
Xian quiets down and kind of goes back to doing what she was doing.
You hear someone call, Lamont, I ain't gonna wait all day! And she's like waving over at you. Samantha, 6-year-old little kid.
Oh.
I am definitely gonna have to... I'm gonna have to walk her home, but no, if there's, like, a kid in there, like, somebody's gotta do something about that.
100%. There's no smoke without fire, right?
Right. Yeah, let me take Samantha home. I'll say that I'm going to your house. They won't check.
You sure they won't check? I can try and fake my mom's voice over the phone if you need me to.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty good idea.
I'll make sure I get to the phone before my mom tonight, just in case.
Yeah. Okay.
My parents won't really care. I'll just tell him I'm going to work on a project with you, Theo.
Yeah, that's good. You can all use me as your excuses if you need to. I can try and keep on top of it, make sure everything's copacetic. I'm gonna need all of you there, so if all of you could come up with some way to get out tonight, that'd be perfect. I don't want any of us missing this.
I'll try and think of something.
You gonna be able to get out as well, Cass?
Well, I don't think I'll be able to say I'm staying at a boy's house. Don't think my parents would allow that. But I think I could probably figure out a way.
Yeah,
You can tell them you're coming over to my house, Cass.
And that's what I was thinking. I say with a wink. What?
Alright, so we don't know why anybody's crying in there, but we all know I'm going to zone in on... Theo is going to zone in a bit on Cass here, looking for reassurance in Cass's face as he nods. We all know something's going on in this town, though, right? So prepare yourselves. Bring stuff that you think you're going to need. Xian, you're working on a way different level to the rest of us. I'm sure you'll come up with something crazy, but just bring anything that seems useful, tuck it in your bag, and bring it with you.
As you're all standing there, you hear, "Hey, dweebs! Looks like the circus is in town!" And Anya, you feel a wet orange juice box hit you on the side of your head, and sort of like trickle down your shirt as you look over and you see a blonde, sort of short-haired boy with just like a white shirt, blue jeans, red Converse, quite sort of stout in his frame, like short but wide, fit, quite muscular. And he's walking with two other sort of like lanky guys behind him. It's Zane, and he just sort of like sticks his like nose up at you as he walks by, and he just like goes like "Nah!" And as he like laughs and just walks all the way past, like high-fiving his friends as he passes by.
Theo bites his bottom lip, but as soon as Zane's back is turned, he sticks his middle finger up then. He doesn't do it before, where Zane can see it, but he just kind of takes his anger out at his back.
As they sort of swagger off, as they swagger off down the street and turn right to go along the road, they sort of look back over at you all, and he makes two fingers towards his eyes, and then he points them at you as he's walking away. Theo, yeah, sorry.
What a dunderhead. Are you alright, Anya?
Yeah, I'm fine. Can you just help me pick up my stuff real quick?
Yeah, Cassandra helps Anya pick everything up.
Mm-hmm. Alright. Okay. Cut to Lamont's walking down the street with Samantha, sort of skipping alongside. She seems to be asking a lot of questions to Lamont. So she's like, "So, what are you up to tonight?"
Going over to Theo's house.
"Why?"
Just to hang out and have fun.
"What are you gonna do?"
Probably go over some lines for the play.
"The play? Have you got a part in that play already?"
Yeah.
"What are you gonna be?"
Captain Hook.
"Oh. Cool. He's like the bad guy, right?"
Sure is.
"You're playing the bad guy?
Yep.
Don't you want to play the good guy?"
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool, but, you know, it's just pretend, so it's alright.
Who was playing the good guy?
Theo.
Oh. And she sort of like makes like a little smirk as she's like looking ahead. And she's like, well, what time are you gonna come back?
Probably not until... I don't know. Might spend the night. Haven't decided yet.
Can I come?
No, sorry.
Why?
'Cause you're too little.
You never let me hang out with your friends.
That's because they're my friends. You have your friends. I don't ask to hang out with your friends.
Yeah. But you know, my friends aren't as cool as your friends.
Well, when your friends get older, they'll be as cool as my friends too.
Tell that to Brittany Matthews.
Maybe I will.
You get into your house, and your dad is home. He's actually playing a saxophone in the back room. So you walk straight into the living room, and it's sort of like sort of very like dark oranges and sort of like wooden walled sort of interior, sort of the dark orange like sofas and things like that. As soon as you get in there, Sam just sort of like slams a bag down in the little vestibule area, starts running up the stairs, and you can hear him in the back on the saxophone, and you don't see your mum's shoes or anything, or like a handbag or anything like that.
Hey, Pops, I'm home.
You say like the end of like the end of a saxophone, and you can hear like sort of the metal clack as he puts it down on its hat stand, and he comes into the room sort of like wiping his hands, and he's like, "Oh, hey, son, how's school?"
It was all right. It was pretty good. Where's Mom at?
He has a distracted look on his face, like a sort of faraway look, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, just working late again." He looks as if he's a bit put out. Your mum works as an attorney, and she takes a lot of high-profile cases, and you can see that it's started to take a toll on him, as he is a musician, very free-spirited, and he's getting you can tell it for the past couple of like months, so he's been getting a little bit tired of her not being around.
Would it be okay if I went and hung out with Theo tonight? Maybe spent the night?
I was gonna nip on over to 5-Star Video and rent a movie for us, but he looks disappointed.
What about tomorrow? We could rent a movie. Would that work?
Oh, that okay. Sure. He just looks like he's going to agree with whatever you say, as long as he wants to spend some time with you. You know, like, so as long as he gets to do that. I was thinking, maybe like a horror or something. I've seen so many comedies recently. It's just not. Yeah.
Yeah, like some sort of like slasher or something, and we could get like a pizza.
Oh yeah. Yeah, pepperoni. And he just smiles, like this really, really big smile. He's got like a short beard, that's sort of like a mustache beard combo. His hair's really short cropped. He's got a really nice hairline as well. He looks after himself. Being a musician, he is actually like playing live and stuff like that, so he has a good presentability about him. But he's also got a like young, fresh looking face too. And this smile sort of lights up on him, and he's like, "Oh, that's perfect. Hey, why don't I get some popcorn too? We'll make a night of it."
Yeah, that sounds great.
Nice. Cut 2. We're cutting to Xian. Xian, you're making your way home. Did you choose to go home with anyone, or are you just gonna walk home alone? How are you walking home?
As Xian's walking home, she stops at the gas station, says hi to Mr. Pavel. Or they say hi to Mr. Pavel. And sees Zara in there. They're familiar with each other. They say hi. Her cat Jiahao comes and like does a little figure eight around her ankles. They buy a few snacks. And then walk home alone.
Nice. You get to your house, which is much larger and more like neater than everyone else's, it seems, on this street. Where exactly on the map do you live? Let me just pop the map on. I just want to sort of get an idea of where you are compared to everyone else, considering your house is in a bit more of an affluent area. Show that again. I didn't see it. Oh, the purple one. Yes, yeah, because it's purple first. Xian. Yes, I see. Yep, right next to the greenery as well. Like you rock up to your house and you get a thought pass through your mind of like, it's August now, but when it comes to October, this street is going to be ransacked when it comes to Halloween, because everyone knows this street is the place to be for getting the good candy, right? It's the good area. You live in a gated sort of house too. You've got like gates that open up as you walk through. And you get up there, and there are literally like 2 columns by the side of your front door. Like the door is a double door. It's like a McMansion sort of style house. Glass sort of frosted panes in the doors. And you walk in there, and your mum's sort of like on the phone, like talking already, and she sort of like waves at you hi, and then just kind of walks past while she's still on the phone. And you see that your dad's sort of sitting, sort of almost like blindly watching a rerun of an old football game. He's not really paying much attention to it. He's just sort of slowly sipping from a glass of water. He looks more like he's having like a meditative moment rather than anything else. But there's a very fresh air feel to this house. As the vestibule's very open space. There's like a huge staircase. There's a lot of air flowing through and things like that.
Xian walks over to their dad, kisses him on the cheek, and says, "Hi, Papa. I had a question."
What's the matter, darling?
Me and Theo, you know Theo, right?
I know Theo.
Me and him had a science project to work on tonight. And it involves the use of heat and combustion through firecrackers and things like that. And I remember you working on a project not too long ago, and I was wondering if you had any more of those firecrackers left.
He looks at you with this little look of suspicion, but as soon as you mentioned one of his interests, his like little mouth curls up, and he's like, "All right. Don't tell your mom you're going to the Easton house. You know what she's like." He gives this like knowing look at you where he doesn't give that much of a shit, but she does. You know, like she is a bit judgmental of the Easton family household. And he says, "Come with me." And he just like pulses himself up on either side of his chair, and he's kind of like wearing like a white polo shirt with a couple of the buttons undone. He's like got a bald sort of head, but with hair around the sides, sort of like Homer Simpson style, like around the back. And he walks with a little bit of a hunch. He's a little bit older than a sort of dad you'd expect a dad to be. Like sort of more like in his like late 50s rather than say like late 30s, early 40s. And he like shuffles over to a side door which leads to like a large garage. He takes you in there, and the garage is sort of split between like the place where you can put like your 3 cars and then the back end, which is like a workshop. And this is like your favourite place of the house. Like the workshop is just, you know. You get back there, he starts rooting through his toolboxes and stuff like that. And he emerges with these set of, not just firecrackers, but like ingredients, like little bits of magnesium and like little trinkets and things, or whatever you need. He's just like passing them to you while still rooting, like, "Yeah, you might need this. Maybe this." And he turns around and is like, "You're not going to go blowing anything up, right?"
No. And I also noticed something, Papa. And he's working on a car engine. And Xian is like, "I just read up on about this." Takes a wrench and like screws something in and twists another thing. And with like just a burst of steam, it comes on. I noticed you
Yeah.
forgot to calibrate that properly.
He puts his hands on his sort of waist and laughs. And he looks at you almost like incredulously, like he can't quite believe you. And he's like got a little twinkle in his eye, and he's like, and he's like, yeah, I should really write that one down. And he goes over to a little notebook and sort of like checks off some things. Anyway, cut to Anya. How are you going home, Anya?
Anya's probably trying to get us home as fast as possible because she has to change out her shirt and then she has to practice her violin.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just, speeding home.
And what does your house look like?
It's just a sort of normal house. It's just a regular 2-story house with a garage on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Anya's parents are slightly more wealthy than normal, but not incredibly wealthy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You make it in, and your mum is there, and she's frantically cooking. Like, she's got music blasting on in the kitchen, very, very sort of like high-pitched, almost like Bach, sort of classical music going on. And because the frequency just sort of puts you, it just sort of gets you a little bit like, oh, that's on a bad radio. Like, that's not a good sound at all. But she's sort of, you know that whenever she has that music on, she's in a zone of focus. And she's in the kitchen, and your dad is still at work as he is a businessman.
Anya will just go straight to her room, change out her shirt, pull out her violin, and start practicing for the next half hour.
Alright. You hear the music sort of get louder as the door sort of downstairs in the kitchen door opens up. And you just say, Anya! Food's ready!
Okay.
That's your mum.
And she'll go downstairs to the kitchen, to the dining area.
As soon as you walk in, there's the smell of very rich food. It's very, very, very rich and lingers, sort of hits you straight away. And she's made too much. It's almost like she's overcompensating for something. She has like sort of a variety of different different kinds of food, different sort of meats and separate sauces that you could mix together in whichever way you want. It literally looks like she's been making this all day. She's made it from fresh. Loads of different types of bread. Little sort of like bowls of like chaat or like little chickpea mixtures and things like that. Like, there's so many different flavoured things that you could like take from. It is way too much and it will go to waste. And she's sort of like picking out things for herself and putting them all on a plate with her hands, sort of just like wrapping up little bits of bread and eating it as though it's like a job to, like very methodical. She looks quite focused in even just eating.
Mother, were you expecting company tonight?
No, she's just looking at all the food, and she says, "Well, you know that I've got to practice." And you recall she's a chef, and she's like, "Try the chat," and she's like pushing the little metal dish towards you. And compare it against this here, she's like pushing a curry towards you as well. It's a curry sauce, and there are like bits of dried sort of chicken separate. And she's like, just try all the combinations, okay? Just all of them, please, and just tell me which one's best.
Okay. and she'll just take a bit of everything and try it all.
She's literally got like both hands on like the table, like staring at you.
I feel like the curry was the best thing.
Hmm.
They were all fantastic. It's just that the curry tasted the best, in my opinion.
She literally whips out a little notebook and starts writing down. And if you were going to change anything about it, what would you change? Could it be a little bit more?
Are you talking about what I could change to the curry?
Yeah. Does it need any more sweetness, or, you know?
I think it just needs a little bit more spice. It's a little bit more on the mild side.
Okay.
Other than that, it was fine.
She's taking this extremely seriously. She's like looking down at her notebook, writing it down. So, how's school?
School's been alright. Speaking of school, Xian actually asked me to go to her house later to help her with a project that she has to work on. Is that fine?
So you see like her eyebrow in the middle sort of like crumple a little bit. And she's like, but you have to study.
Yes. No, I was going to do that before I left.
Well, how much have you got to do? And she sort of looks over at you like... well, she looks over at like a bookcase that's sort of through the hall in the front room, and she says, "You haven't even got through the third law book that I bought for you months ago."
Don't worry, I'll get through it by the end of the school year. I'm just trying to focus on my current studies right now. I only have around 3 classes today, though, so I can get through maybe a chapter.
She looks concerned and she's like, so where are you going, anyway?
Just over to Xian's house. She just needs help with a little project of hers.
Huh, Xian's. Okay, she's gonna say, well, I'm gonna call her dad and make sure it's okay with him. Do they know about this?
I'm assuming Xian would have told her parents about the project.
Great. She sort of wipes her hands on a tea towel and walks over to the wall phone. She puts her hand on it. She picks it up. She starts inputting a number. Beep, 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 beep. Rrr, rrr. And you just hear her say, oh, hi, Mr. May. Yeah, I was just letting you know that it's okay with me for Anya to stay over tonight. What do you mean? Oh, okay. She's looking over at you with like a strange look in her eye. Oh, thanks very much. She clicks the phone back down and she turns around to you with her arms folded. Why'd you lie to me?
What are you talking about?
How can you stay at Xian's house if, well, she's not going to be there tonight?
He told me to meet her at her house for the project. She said she was working on a project and to meet her at her house.
Well, their dads just told me that they're going to Theo's house. Is that where you're really going?
Oh, Xian just asked me to help her with the project. If she's going to Theo's house, I'm assuming that we're working on it as a group.
Roll a charm.
Oh, could that investigation work?
And the DC... Oh, sorry, I need to set the DC first. Roll a charm, and the DC will be... I'm going to say 5.
Okay. 50% chance? No. Oh, a pretty high roll.
She...
8.
Yeah, she considers the fact that you're all going to study together. And she says...
Well, I guess it's nice that you're helping your friends study too. You've got to remember, you know, you're probably gonna go on to do much more difficult things than kids like Theo Easton. Don't waste your time. If you feel like, you know, you're splitting yourself in different places, and make sure you look after yourself first.
If I ever feel like my friends are getting in the way of my potential success, I will try to focus more on, you know, law and my studies and stuff like that. I just feel like helping them out when they need it.
Okay. But as soon as those street lights go on, you're back here within 20 minutes.
Okay, sounds good.
Alright. Cut to Theo's house. Theo? You walk home. And what's your house look like?
I imagine it would be a... don't know if there's an American word, bungalow, so it's one story.
Mm-hmm.
It's further away from this greenery, affluent area. If I were to freehand it on the map, I would say it's up in the corner, further into Park Place.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the end of a cul-de-sac. It doesn't look dilapidated or anything like that, but it just doesn't look as fancy as some of the houses that he's have to walk past to get to his house.
Mm-hmm. And when you get there, you take out your key. As your mum is still working at the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk into your empty house. What does he do when he's in there?
Close and lock the door, just slump my backpack down by the door. Kind of look at the empty house and pat his legs a little bit. And then he just kind of paces around for a little bit. He looks a little bit uncomfortable on his own. It'd be like a montage of moments of swinging on doorways and just kind of fumbling about a little bit before he kind of claps his hands together. He's like, right, grabs his backpack, starts going through the cupboards in the kitchen. Any packets of beef jerky, things like that, he starts stuffing them into his backpack. Goes to his room, looks through some of his piles of stuff. It's very unorganized. Finds some of his scouting supplies, takes a little bit of tent rope, winds that up. That'll do nicely, sticks it into his backpack, gets his Swiss Army knife from the side of his bed, kind of flicks it in his hand a little bit and sticks that in his pocket. Grabs a trucker cap from a pile in his room. It just has some generic general store logo on the front of it. Sticks that on and goes back into the kitchen. All of his footsteps just kind of echo around the house as he's preparing and walking around. He would leave his backpack in his room near the window. And then he would... I think he'd go to the freezer, pull out a TV dinner and stick that in the oven.
What does his room look like?
Simple but messy. Single bed, pile of clothes. Kind of... I want to say, like, not really decorated that much, almost as if he wouldn't spend that much time in there. It's very much a place for his stuff and a place to sleep, rather than a place to stay. So, kind of bare walls, just chaos of possessions.
Okay.
But it does have a window out to the backyard.
Where did you ask everybody to meet you?
I said by the bus stop.
Mm-hmm. At what time?
About 8:30 when the sun starts to set.
Okay.
Which hasn't been relayed to other parents.
Mm-hmm. It dawns on you that there's... Well, I mean... you go out, it's 8:30. Well, you get to the bus stop at 8:30. It is a late summer day, and at 8:30 the sun hasn't completely set, and therefore the street lamps haven't come on yet. Who's already there?
I think Lamont is already there.
Mm-hmm.
Xian would be the last to get there. They got all their stuff, kissed their papa, and they went into the gas station on the way there and bought a lighter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, sorry. I slipped my mind. Okay, right. Before sorry, excuse me. Oh, sorry, I've got so much to think about. Cut Cassandra's house. Cassandra is walking. I'm so sorry. I've got like a list of things. Right. You know what I mean? I've got like 3 pages of notes right now already. Yeah. Sorry. Cut to Cassandra's house.
Yeah. I think Cassandra. She walked on home. She's got like I think her house is it's just like a sort of a one sort of it's like Will Byers' house in the fact that it's 1 story, and obviously I guess she doesn't live that's a bit big, but she doesn't live too far away from Theo because they've got similar houses, I suppose. And she gets home and she just immediately sort of goes to her room and starts scurrying her notes down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what does your room look like, by the way of, like, what kind of stuff do you have? Like, items, objects, and things on your walls?
I think Cassandra's room is very indicative of when she was, like, younger. Mm-hmm. So, it's got, like, loads of, it's got, like, pink wallpaper. It's got, like, fluffy sort of curtains. Like, you know, really, like, flowery bed sheets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also, like, a few sort of plants. I think Cassandra probably keeps, like, her Venus flytraps or something.
Mm.
Yeah. She feeds one, like, a little like, I don't know, a little beetle that she found on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she, like, sort of observes as it sort of takes it into the trap thing, and then writes a few notes about that. Yeah.
And because I didn't get any information on what your parents like.
I think they're quite strict.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not allowed to be. You know, you can't go to a boy's house or whatever.
Oh yeah.
No boys are allowed over, that sort of thing.
Okay. Just a quick one for like jobs they might have.
I think that
they don't need to have names, by the way, because it's literally just like Mr. like, you know, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think like the mum would be a housewife and the dad would be Mr. Jones would like just have a 9-to-5 sort of like office job.
Mm-hmm.
Or something along those lines.
Okay. All right. Only child?
Yeah.
All right. You hear a knock at the door of your bedroom.
Hello?
Cass, I'm doing laundry.
Oh, right. Cassandra sort of looks around the room. She needs to find something to get her mum off her back. She like opens the wardrobe into like some clothes that are already like clean, and then sort of hands them over and says, "Here you go." She's got like too many clothes for it to be in the right amount of time. So unless you're wearing multiple sets of there.
Yeah, your mum sort of like stands there at the open doorway, sort of holding a washing basket against her hip. She's quite short and like quite plump, very close, sort of round hair. Sort of, she always wears a pearl sort of like necklace that she thinks is really fashionable, but it's like it's just a bit like out of date, like it's like from the 50s or something. You think she probably told you it was a mum's at one point, but you can't really remember. Like it's just something, you know. She wears like a very much like a mom blouse, very sort of like very plain skirt down, like that comes down over her knees, and she just has like a very like sort of, you know, like mule-esque sort of slippers that are very like fur lined on one side but not real fur, like on the inside, and she just looks tired. Like she the main thing about her is that she's just got these sort of very deep sort of eye bags that are very dark underneath, and she sort of looks around and she's like and while you're at it, make sure you tidy up this mess. And it's not that messy. It's just she just wants you to do something that she's doing, so it feels like she's not alone in this constant picking up and cleaning and things like that.
Yeah, sure. Oh, and by the way, Mum, Xian invited me over. We're doing a
Xian?
brief inquiry into the nature of nurture versus nature.
Xian. Oh, which one's that again?
The rich one.
Oh, the rich one. Oh. Yeah, sure. She just like walks out. You just see like she's just like hobbling down through the hallway with a sort of giant arse wobbling as she does, because she's got that mum thick arse, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
She's got Pixar mum.
Yeah, literally. Pixar mum vibes, yeah. And she just not descends down the stairs, she just turns into the sort of laundry room. You hear like a lot of clanging around as she's fixing up the laundry. Cut. Sorry about that. Also, before the cut to the actual bus station, question between cuts. What do you collect? So we'll start with Lamont. What do you collect from your house to bring with you, to put in your backpack? And also you will be bringing your bike, so like a little description of your bike as well.
A baseball bat, I think, and as well as no, I think that's it. I think just a baseball bat. And Lamont's bike has a big banana seat and really tall handlebars, and it's royal blue.
Nice. Roll me a flight check with a DC of 4 to get out of the house without your dad seeing, or Samantha seeing that you're taking a baseball bat with you.
Yeah.
It says input value modifier. Do I put in 4 for that?
For flight, what's your teen modifier? Let me just see. That I should actually have that somewhere. J2, do you have the teen modifiers? I'm sure you looked them up before, didn't you?
I do.
Yeah.
Just a quick one. Have you set a DC as well?
The DC's 4.
DC's 4.
Oh no, yeah, you don't add 4 because of the DC. It's just
they get a +1 to
I'll write this down as
Not-
well.
It's not the flight.
It's not flight, right. JT, will you just look that up and send it me later? But yeah, just roll flight straight, get more than a 4 and you'll succeed. So just roll it zero modifiers. Ooh. As you grab your baseball bat, you're coming out of your room looking to and fro, sort of thing. You make it to the top of the staircase, and as you're sort of like shuffling down the stairs as quick as you can, you see, you just hear, "Hey!" And you turn around and Samantha's standing at the top of the stairs. And she's like, Why are you taking that bat? Huh?
I just thought we might play some ball after we were done with our lines.
Charm. And also, because we're in planned mode and not sort of thinking on your feet mode, like, it's not a snap decision, in other words. This is a sort of something that, you know, it's not nothing action-based is happening. So you can take 10 in Charm and succeed just anyway. So with this particular situation, if I were to say roll Charm, the DC would be like 6. You can say, I take 10 and succeed. Yeah?
Isn't it just half your die, though?
Yeah, because Lamont's got a D20 in Charm. So Lamont could take half that roll and get a 10. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'll say roll Charm, the DC's 5 or whatever, and you just say, I take 10 and succeed. Alright. So she just sort of swings on the top of the banister and she's just like, have fun! And she looked really jealous as you leave. Xian, what are you taking? You said that you got a lighter? Where did you get that from?
I went to the gas station and bought it.
Alright, when you go up to Mr. Pavel at the gas station and ask him for a lighter, he's like, now what a little girl like yourself would be doing with a lighter, huh?
Oh, yes. I'm doing a project with some friends, and it involves firecrackers.
Firecrackers, huh? You're not getting in with a bad crowd, are you?
Oh, Mr. Pavel.
Are you sure about that? Roll a charm, and the charm DC will be a 5 because it's a lighter.
Whew. Alright, hopefully this explodes.
No, you only got your D4 in that. No!
Nice try. But I don't sell lighters, or knives, or cigarettes, or alcohol to underage kids.
Yes, Mr. Pavel, sorry to bother you.
Give yourself an adversity token. And, yeah, he's like, as you're walking out, he's like, dang whippersnappers. And, he's like, he does laugh at you as you leave. He's like, as if, come on. And, yeah, you go out there without a lighter.
Other than that, I have a bunch of firecrackers, some magnesium, a bit of gunpowder, just things that would be like fuses, things like that.
Okay, make sure you put all your stuff in your backpack. Okay, Anya, what are you taking with you from your house?
I think I'd just take my backpack because my mom thinks we're going to go study, right? So I just bring my bag. It just has notebooks, pencils, paper.
Okay. Cass.
Yes. Cass, she packs a backpack with all the things she needs. First and foremost, she makes sure that she's got her big book of conspiracies. She has a calculator, but that's just there because she had school earlier. She also brings her binoculars because that girl likes to spy on people. She brings her pens in different various colours, She brings a magnifying glass for looking at those, secret clues, and she knows that that'll be of use because she's got a flashlight. But she actually forgets to bring the flashlight, although she did bring spare batteries for it. Yeah, that's what she's got, spare batteries.
Alright, and Theo, what are you packing?
Theo packed a bit of thin rope used for tents and scouting. He's got a Swiss Army knife. As a former scout, he'll also have a mini first aid kit just with the essentials, plasters, bandages, basic stuff like that. And some like small packs of jerky or something. They can't afford Hostess in this house, so it'll be like Little Debbie's cakes or whatever he found in the cupboard. Just in case there's a stakeout needed.
Okay. So you get.
He thinks the castle bring a torch, so he doesn't bother bringing one.
You. Okay, it's 8:30 p.m. The sun is starting to set already, and you're at the bus stop. Lamont's already there. Cassandra, are you already there?
Yeah, I think Cassandra would have been there like way early. Just because, the sun might go down earlier than she expects. She's always got to be prepared in case the sun goes down 5 hours early or something. An eclipse, perhaps.
Well, the sun's already started to sink below the sort of rooftops already. And I guess everyone's there. Xian shows up after the last, but then Theo's going to show up. I don't know, actually. Theo, are you going to show up last, or are you already there?
I can show up just before Xian.
Right, okay, right. So everyone's there but Xian for now.
I was waiting by the phone. I didn't get any phone calls. Your parents not check up?
Nope.
I mean...
my mom asked Xian's dad about the... Because I said Xian needed help with a project. But Xian said they were doing the project at your house. So I almost got, caught, but other than that, we're fine.
You almost got caught. I like that. Almost. Not getting caught. How'd everybody else go? We all good?
Well, I said I'd be at Xian's house, and if Xian said she's going to your house, and my mum or my dad rings up Xian's house, and then Xian's dad says that Xian is at your house, that means I'm at your house.
Don't worry about logistics. Parents don't care about that. If they cared about that, they would have called beforehand. There's nothing to worry about. All we need to make sure is that... Well, I don't know how long this is going to be, because I came prepared for a bit of a stakeout, but if you guys need to get home by a certain time, then we just need to work that in. But you know how parents are. They ain't just going to start calling for no reason. We got this.
Alright, Xian's gonna rock up now.
Yeah. They making a lot of noise. Their bike was hand built with the help of her father. And it's like this fucking steampunk dream with all kinds of bells and whistles, and it blows smoke out the back, and it's just the money that they have is in full effect, but it's very like it sounds like a whole train coming down the road. And I pull up and I'm like in a rush because I know I'm late, and I trip and faceplant.
Oh.
I just fall off the bike and I just hit the concrete.
Oh, Lamont goes over and like offers them his hand and like helps them up.
It's Lamont.
Oh, Xian, you know you're supposed to squeeze the back brake first.
Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint you guys, and I was already late, so I'm sorry.
Hey, don't worry about being a disappointment. No one's disappointing here. We need every single one of us. So we need everybody in one piece as well. Don't be trying to do any stunts on your bike now. So, oh, sorry.
I bought firecrackers for everybody.
Nice. I have no idea how they're going to come into handy, but they definitely will. Yeah, quick equipment check. Is everybody prepared? We don't even know what we're going up against, so the more eclectic, the merrier.
I just brought my school bag.
That's cool. You being here is enough. What?
I brought a bat.
Nice. Cass, you bring anything special?
Well, of course, I brought my big book of conspiracies. She starts rifling through her bag. I also brought my calculator, my binoculars, pens, my magnifying glass, of course. I brought some spare batteries for the torch, and oh shit, I forgot the torch.
Shit, you don't have the torch? I thought we can work with it. We can work with it. I mean, what was that?
Xian walks over and detaches one of the headlights from her bike. We can use this. My father helped me design it in case I ever got lost in the woods.
See, this is why every single one of us is needed. Y'all are geniuses. I wish I could think of this kind of stuff. I only brought old Trustworthy with me, and I'm gonna brandish the Swiss Army knife in my hand and then tuck it away as if it's a little secret.
You're not bringing any snacks?
Oh yeah, I got some snacks as well, just in case it goes on a bit long. Y'all like the cream-filled cupcakes, right? It's not name brand, but you can't tell the difference. So we should be perfectly fine with what we got. Just in case it gets dark, come through with the light. I say we mosey on down to Poplar.
Poplar. What does anyone know about Poplar?
Well, I know that the house is right next to that spooky-ass cornfield that we stayed in a while ago.
Where the aliens forgot to leave their crop circles. I mean, easy mistake to make, really.
Exactly.
And she says this consulting her book, of course.
But was it a mistake, though?
Theo?
I think... Yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say that, like, with us not finding anything around the cornfield, I don't think that doesn't mean there's anything to be found. I think whoever's been hiding stuff, they're just really good at hiding it, right? So I say we take tonight as a recon mission.
Wait. You said it's near Poplar Street?
Yeah, it's on Poplar Court.
Yeah.
It's the house on the end.
Well, I've just been doing some thinking right now. Okay, so those aliens forgot to leave crop circles? Or maybe they're being real sneaky. Maybe they, quote-unquote, and she does like the finger thing,
Finger quotes.
forgot to leave crop circles. But in reality, maybe they, snuck into that house. And maybe they're like abducting children.
Yeah, and they left the cornfield like completely normal just to throw us off the scent.
Scary shit.
Does anyone know? What?
Aliens? Scary stuff?
It could be. Hey, you guys, you gotta open your minds. We don't even know what we're going up against here, but I know something funky's going on. We're gonna find something tonight, guys.
Well, do you have a lighter, Theo?
Lighter. I might have one in my bag, but I'd be tucked away from like one of the last investigations we did.
Well, don't you know how to start a fire? I mean, you are a scout, aren't you?
I mean, yeah. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use stuff from the cornfield, but you get some sticks, I'll have you a fire in 2 seconds flat.
So, to Poplar Court.
Poplar Court. Race you there.
What
Let's do it.
what does Theo's back look like?
Okay, in direct contrast to what Xian's bike was like with the extravagance and everything, Theo is very much a second or even third-hand bike. You could tell it probably used to be red, but it's faded and it's got dirty. The only saving grace for Theo's bike that makes it cool is the fact that a trading card has been stuck in the spokes so that it makes a sound that is equivalently loud to what Xian's makes.
And also, because I didn't describe Cassandra's. Yeah, similarly to Cassandra's room, Cassandra has a pink bike, or rather, had a pink bike. Of course, she painted it red so that it would go faster than everyone else's, and even put like little flames on it. The paint has sort of chipped away over time, though, because it wasn't even like professionally done. It was just like painted, and so you can see the pink underneath it.
Nice. I love that. It flakes a little bit. And Anya, what does your back look like?
Just like a very basic looking bike. Probably green.
Alright. So it's not like a lowrider or like a, it's not an 8 handlebars banana seat kind of thing. It's just a normal bicycle.
Stock standard.
Yeah.
Lamont's got a cool bike, though.
Alright. You all hitch your legs over your backs and start racing down the street. And as you sort of like making a shitload of noise with like Theo's card flickering around and Xian sort of pumping like little bits of steam out the back and stuff like that, you sort of get a few people like sort of coming out of their houses to see what the noise is, and like a few people like sort of waving their like hands at you, being like, "Shut up! It's nearly the night time!" As they're like, "You damn kids!" And as you round a corner, you see off in the distance 3 figures on bikes themselves. They seem to be coming to your direction, and as you get closer, you see a white shirt, blue jeans, short, cropped blonde hair. As some of you have like lamps on the front of your bikes, they can't quite make out like who you are. They just sort of riding along, and you see that like one of them's riding without handlebars, like just eating a bag of crisps, like as he's sort of swerving around along the road. They're all like sort of talking and laughing to each other, and they haven't really noticed you yet.
Oh no, not those dunderheads.
Shit, do we want to go a different way, guys?
I can try to throw them off our trail if you want.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what you thinking?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a lot harder to chase us on foot. I reach out. Xian reaches over to their side pocket on their backpack and pulls out a thing of nails. And I'm like, "What if we pop their tires?"
Are you talking about like caltrops?
A little bit, yeah.
Gee, Xian, you thinking of throwing those, or are you thinking of like getting off your bike and going and punch them? You can't just throw nails at people.
No, not at them. I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to throw them on the ground.
But you gotta think, Xian. I mean, like if they do get knocked off their bike, they may get knocked off their bike like you did, and then face first into like a bunch of nails, and then we'd get in loads of trouble. And like even if they didn't get hurt, like think about when we were next time we're at school, and even what if they don't even get them at all, and then there's just a bunch of nails in the road, and then the sheriff starts looking around, and
While
inquiring.
while you're having this conversation, you have got off your bikes and tucked them to the side to have this full conversation, because I can't imagine that you are currently riding towards them as they're riding to you and having this much time to say this stuff. So yeah, you have come off your bikes and you've hidden round the sort of side street as they are passing by. They haven't got up to you yet because they're sort of like lazily turning circles around this street. They're just near where you need to pass. Just making that clear. Yeah, sorry, Lamont.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Lamont.
It's not that it was a bad idea, Xian, but we really don't want anyone to get in trouble with Officer Michaels or anything like that.
Yeah, he's been nice to me. He saved my cat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just trying to be helpful.
You don't
No,
are
you are
helpful.
being helpful. You are being helpful. It's just we can't take any risks, you know. It's a great idea, and I'd love to see it. But if we do something like that, it gets back to our parents, and you know, there's like 3 different layers of lies going on here. We can't have any of this getting back to our parents. I know the nails are going to come in useful later. What'd you guys think if we just rode past them? Are they really going to chase us?
No, but if they start an argument with us, isn't everybody going to talk about it at school tomorrow?
Who cares what the people at school say? Are they really going to believe Xian? I mean, we go past them, we keep pedaling. There's no way they're going to be able to catch all of us. Catch any of us.
We could always just split up.
I think we're probably better off sticking together.
The way I see it, there's 5 of us and there's 3 of them. What's the worst they could try and do?
Right.
We all good? We want to just ride on past?
If you guys think it's the best idea.
I mean, I'm a big fan of the nails idea, I'm not going to lie, but save that in your back pocket for later. Yeah, I don't think they can do anything to touch us. We all ready? We don't want to be wobbly on our bike, so we all good? We can do this, yeah?
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do. He's gonna like confidently get back on his bike and try and be the guy in front to ride past first.
You see, when you sort of emerge from like the little side street where you've been huddled speaking, you can see that like they've like come off their bikes and they've like laid the bikes in the middle of the street, and you can see that they're sort of like just jostling around in the sort of middle of the road itself. Like these roads don't see many cars that often, and they're just sort of like playing around with each other, sort of like pushing each other and shoving. You can see that like one of them's like going over to someone else's mailbox and like looking into it and stuff, and like pulling shit out and laughing. And they just seem to just be having some sort of joke that you have no context for. As you all just pedal on by, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, if they don't start any trouble, I think we'll just pedal on by.
Alright. You pedal on by, and there's a distinct part when you have to sort of swerve around their laid down bicycles that are on the middle of the concrete. You actually have to like cycle around them to get by, and as you do, Zane's just laughing, and he like looks over, and as you sort of driving away from him, he just shouts, "Yo, Easton, does your mom know where you are?" And that's all he shouts as you just ignore him, and all the rest of you pedal on by. You make it all the way to the corner of Poplar Court. This street is extremely sort of run down. There's a couple of trailers as well that are closer to the main road area. Sort of like a little miniature trailer park. It's not like an actual official trailer park. On one side there's a trailer park, on the other side there's like a junkyard. Further down the street itself, you see a few like sort of dilapidated houses, and houses that you think like older people who are long forgotten about would live. And at the very end of it is this house, framed by these dilapidated houses. This one is the one. This one, with its sort of it's like wrought iron fence surrounding it. This one that's sort of, it's 2-story, undisturbed, surrounded by this sort of wrought iron, kind of like, it's like wrought iron fence, but with like a chain link fence doubled over it. This gate that sort of barely swings open on its hinges. And behind the house, you just see the tall grass of the cornfields that sort of comes up way above your guys' heads. Even the tallest of you, it's extremely unkept. Like it's like it's not really been farmed in fucking years. And that surrounds the backdrop of this house. You sort of cycle on over to it, and as you get closer and closer, this feeling of silence sort of like comes along, and it's sort of, the closer you get, like obviously you pass by like the sort of trailer park area and the other houses, and you can hear like TVs on, looking through people's windows, you can see that they're watching TV, and you can hear some sort of noise of people talking and coughing, and someone's outside sort of smoking, and as you continue down the street, it just gets eerily quiet. All the leaves sort of like from where the trees have sort of, what's the word, lost some of the, no, they haven't lost the leaves, it's August. There's sort of a lot of sticks and twigs around that have not been swept. This all like sort of sidewalk area before you get to the fence. There's a little bit of a sort of messy garden with a shitload of bushes before you get to the actual door itself, but you are outside the gates currently. Yeah, it's quite dark. Even though the sun is still casting this like orange-purple glow as it's nearly gonna go down.
So, home sweet home, am I right, guys?
No place like it.
Right, well, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but my plan so far, there's been crying coming from the house. People are saying that it starts, and then after you hear it for a bit, it just disappears, right? So there might be some freaky ghost shit going on. No idea. But I don't really think it's a good idea to just go running in without checking it out first from the outside. So if we're going in, we need to know all the different ways to get out. I was thinking explore the perimeter. Figure out what we're working with before we go inside. Everybody on board?
Yeah.
Good thing I brought my binoculars.
Alright. So this is a planning phase. The gate barely swings open on its hinges. It's literally like stuck when you get up to it. If you try and push, it's sort of like leaning down on its hinge, and it's like extremely like grounded into the floor. Yeah, it's you don't feel like you can push through it just with a normal sort of push. But yeah.
Does the gate appear to be locked or anything?
No, it's just extremely heavy. Like it's massive. This entire thing is like as if it was once quite an affluent area, has been completely abandoned. The gate being wrought iron in the first place, again, very expensive, but then it's been doubly sort of protected with the chain link fence as well. So it's almost like someone's gone around there and made sure that no one can really get in there. The gate itself is just so heavy and like sinking into the ground because the hinges are broken. Let's have a look here. Yeah, when you get up to the actual fences itself, you can see that the doors and windows of the house are just all completely boarded up as well. So you're sort of standing at the gate, just like, what?
How high is the gate?
It looks climbable.
Okay.
But it also looks very rusty.
Theo's gonna like shake the gate a little bit and then get down on a knee and like hold his hands up. Anybody need a boost?
No, thank you. I've got it. And Xian's going to try to climb over.
All right. What are you going to roll for that?
I am going to roll flight. They are basically gonna get like a running jump, and they're on track. And then like get one foot on the gate, and then kick up over it, and kind of like grab the gate and fling themselves over, like head over heels over the gate.
Nice. The difficulty is 4. Ooh, meets it beats.
On a D20.
Yep. Describe how you get over.
Yeah. So,
just remember, when you succeed, you get narrative control.
Yeah. So Xian runs up, gets over the gate, almost slips. Like as her hand grabs the gate, her foot slips off, but they manage to fling themselves back over and regain control and land. Like they stumble as they land.
Mm-hmm.
Cassandra's going to take the boost from Theo.
Yeah, sure. Just put your foot on here and I'll push.
Okay.
Got it.
What check are you going to use by getting that boost? I think it should. Do you want Theo to roll it for you because Theo's pushing you up?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. I think this will be something to do with strength, but it's up to you to make the decision.
It would. If I'm pushing up, it'll probably be brawn because that's strength.
Yeah.
What's the DC?
4.
Oh no.
You just smash her into the actual fence. Ow!
Gosh, sorry, I wasn't prepared. That's
Theo,
all it was. I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry. I'll make that up to you.
It's alright. I forgive you. I think I'll try and get over on my own.
Yeah, when you've been thrust up against it as well, you sort of like cut your hand on the rusty fence.
Oh. No. Theo, do you have something for this?
Oh, did that happen because of me? I am so sorry. Someone else. I'm gonna like point to like Anya and Lamont and everyone to like someone else try and go over the fence, and I'll take Cassandra to the side and start wrapping their hand with a bandage.
I think Anya will just try and pull herself over the fence using brawn.
Mm-hmm.
God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you put your sort of like fingers inside the chain links and just like attempt to try and pull yourself up, and you realise you can't lift your own weight. Sorry, that's my DM brain kicking in. You're the one that has narrative control.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
After wrapping Cassandra's hand, Theo's gonna look a little bit like bashful, but also like restlessly annoyed. Like, fuck this. Lamont, you want to help me like push the gate open? We don't need to send everybody jumping over.
Yeah, let's work together. Let's try to open it.
I can help from over here and pull.
Remember to record your adversity tokens on failures as well.
Oh, right.
They're very, very valuable things.
What, so every time you fail, you get an adversity token?
Every fail you get, every
failed roll.
The failure there counts as mine instead of Cassandra's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool. Just making sure I'm putting in the right one.
I need a second adversity token.
Who doesn't?
Theo and Lamont are going to push the gate, and Xian is going to pull from the other side.
Alright. Okay. It will... Let's have a think here. It'll be a difficulty 4, but if any of you 3 get this, it opens.
Well, I'm pushing, so I'm going to use Brawn. It's a D8. I'm going to take half of that.
Oh, nice.
I'll also take half.
Alright, okay.
Which I just realised I could have done when sending Cass over, but new system, guys.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I also could have done that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all...
No, I want those adversity tokens.
Okay, so yeah, Theo, Lamont, and Xian, you all work together to push this gate open, and it makes the hugest creaking sound. It's like scraping along the floor, like, Aah! And then it, like, you open it just enough so that everyone can actually get through without scraping themselves on the rustiness. And the garden is just completely overgrown. There are like old planks of wood just like everywhere, like what would have been a porch being built, but it's sort of been left alone. But also the planks of wood that looked like it would have been from a porch have also been like hammered into the windows, into the doors. Like everything is completely boarded up.
The gate doesn't like try and close itself once it's been pushed open, does it? It just stays open?
No, it stays open.
Good, right. Well, whatever's in there knows that we're coming now. They heard that. I say I'm going to pull everyone a bit closer together to whisper, just in case anything inside can hear us, you know? If the gate's left like that and nobody dicks about with it before tomorrow, we can always just come back tomorrow. We scout around the outside tonight, and then tomorrow, when we make no noise, we can get inside, catch him unawares.
I kind of told my dad that I would watch a movie with him tomorrow. I don't know if I can get back out.
Yeah, and when I get home and I've got this bandage on my hand, I don't think the odds of me being out tomorrow are very high.
I can probably get out tomorrow.
I don't think it's smart for only 3 of us to go, though.
Yeah, y'all are my geniuses. I can't be people down. I need every single one of you.
When you say that,
We need every single one of us. Yeah.
the sun disappears over the horizon, darkness falls, and the street lamps turn on.
Guys, I have 20 minutes to be home, so let's look around quick, see if we can spot anything, and then we have to go.
All right. We work with what we got. Cash, you got them binoculars, right? See if you can find a good vantage point and you can, look around the boards somehow.
Good idea. Yeah, Cassandra's gonna use her binoculars. She's gonna sort of use them to sort of look in through the windows and that sort of thing. Mainly. And I think being observant about things is like a brain sort of thing. So she's gonna roll that. What's the DC?
The DC will be 3.
I'm gonna succeed because it's 10.
Okay. You walk around the house, and all of these windows and doors are completely boarded up. You can't see into the house in any way. But as you sort of get around the back, you see this basement, double-doored basement entrance. How it's 2 wooden doors that are facing down. You know what I mean? You can pull them up and sort of enter the basement that way. But they do have a sort of what looks to be like a bike lock. The wire bike locks though, but it's just a bare wire without the rubber around it or anything. It's like a bare wire that's been attached together with a sort of padlock on it. It's not a chain, it's like a metal rope looking thing.
Well, I spy Hey, Theo,
Hey, yeah? You got something?
look at this. Show him the, well, I sort of get everyone, but I mainly sort of, mention Theo, because then I follow it up with, maybe you can, like, try and cut it or something.
Yeah, I want to describe it a bit further. It's a double door situation. Handles on either side. The handles are tied together with this metal rope. The hinges are 2 on each side, clearly visible, as the doors open outwards towards you.
It's metal rope.
Metal rope, right.
Is there a padlock or anything?
Yeah, it's sort of the metal rope links together and is padlocked, like a bike link, you know.
You guys mind if I take a look at that?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Xian holds the lock in their hand. Takes a paper clip out of their backpack. And gets like a little bends it, feels around in there in the lock, and then is it okay if I make a brains check to try and pick the lock?
Absolutely.
What's the DC?
The DC will be 7. Whoa. Oh, because it's you've exploded twice!
Oh,
Jeez
my God.
Louise! Your first roll's a 12, your second roll's a 12 plus 6. Jeez! Well, you've got control. Oh, well, what happens? Sorry, I need to keep saying that. Yeah.
Very quietly, Xian pokes around for a few minutes, and then she's like, all right, that pin rotates here, solve this. And with a click, she yanks the lock and all the chains off in one false move and flings it to the side.
Nice.
Bravo,
All
Jenna.
right. I got it.
Damn, that's amazing. We can't go inside tonight, though, right, guys? I mean,
But
Anya's
I
got to
thought
get home, right?
Yeah.
I thought that, I'm sorry.
No, don't you ever apologize for doing something like that. That's amazing. We just gotta keep this prepared for when we come back next, right? Because you've already done the hard work. This is our way in. We just make it look like everything's normal, and we know the weak point because this is already unlocked.
As you're all standing there, outside, in front of this basement door, you hear from deep within it the sort of strange scratching and scrambling getting louder and louder. Everybody make a snap decision. Choose what you're going to roll and say what you're going to do. It's literally like something's cantering towards you suddenly, immediately. This is snap decision.
From inside.
From inside, it's like getting really loud towards you.
Theo is gonna hold both doors using brawn to keep them both closed.
Cassandra's gonna, try and sort of listen and observe if it sounds familiar.
Okay. Difficulty is 5, by the way.
For me.
Everyone, right, so everyone has a difficulty 5 on this snap decision. So you're each going to do an action as this noise comes towards you, it's getting closer and closer as if something's literally scrambling towards the door behind it. Right?
Scramble.
Yeah. So Theo has decided to, close the doors, try and use brawn to close it.
I'm going to use...
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm going to use flight to run the fuck away.
Alright, okay. Anya?
I'm gonna use grit to try and just stand up to the thing, whatever it is coming at us. Just face it head on.
Alright. And Lamont?
I think I will also use flight to like run after Xian and make sure they don't get like lost in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so everybody make those rolls.
Do we have a modifier?
Nope.
9. Lamont!
I know.
Okay.
Oh, barely.
Okay.
Xian.
Xian, roll your flight.
Make sure you give yourself adversity as well, Lamont.
Yeah.
I got a
Okay. All of you who are running... I'm sorry, except Lamont. Xian, you run away. Anya, you're sort of standing your ground. Cassandra, you're like listening, like sort of to the side, like, oh, what's that? Theo, you throw your body down onto these sort of like double doors, and as soon as you touch the handles, they just burst open, knocking you to the side as you sort of roll over in the grass. And this thing emerges, this hairy, hunched over thing with like long claws. You don't even see its face. It moves unnaturally fast, like lightning through the door. It's like a blur as it passes by, this hairy blur. Lamont, as you sort of like realise that Xian needs, like, you're chasing after Xian to make sure she's okay. You turn your back to it. You don't even see it that much. You just see this fur and this back and this like weird humanoid sort of form to it, and as you run, it sort of clambers past you and knocks you forwards. You're going to go flying forwards and you're not even going to be able to catch yourself. You land face first on one of the pieces of wood, and one of your teeth gets knocked out. It literally like smacks up against this thing. It's like your right canine at the top, just literally just cracks out. You're bleeding out of your gums. You sort of look up and before any of you can even make any other movements whatsoever, you see it just like cantering off like through the cornfields and just whips into the night, never to be seen.
What the hell's a bear doing here?
I think the bigger question is going to be when the town finds out that it's now running around the town and is free. Fuck, shit. Help me lock the door again. People can know that we were here.
I would like to point out that Xian never released the chains, and she ran away, or they ran away with them.
Yeah, they've taken them with. Xian, you've sort of like run off to the side, like at the edge of the garden, sort of crouched in the bushes. And Theo, as you sort of like go to pick up the other door to like swing it down, as you're looking through, you can see all the way down into the basement, chasing after it seems to be this little girl. She's like very young looking, blonde hair, white blonde hair. She looks quite kind of like dirty, like homeless. She's got like really raggedy clothes on, and she is looking around wildly, and looks up at you. The sort of entrance to it frames her face as the sort of light from the street lamps in the distance sort of shine in, and you only see a small crescent of her face looking up at you. She's got this fear in her eyes.
Theo will stop closing the doors. Hey. He's gonna kind of freeze for a second, staring at her. There's somebody down here, guys. And he's gonna kind of kneel down. Hey, are you okay?
She's like,
You let them get away! You let him get away!
and she just starts muttering to herself in a strange language, just like, and she like starts like pulling her hair.
Hey, we didn't even know he was here. We didn't know anyone was here. Who is he?
She turns around and walks back into the basement, so you can't see her anymore, and she's just muttering to herself, like sort of punching her head a little.
Who's currently around Theo? Is it Cass and...
You've got Cass, you have
Anya.
Anya. Xian's all the way over in the bushes, and Lamont is sort of like halfway towards Xian, face down on the ground with the tooth popped out.
Bleeding.
Bleeding.
Is he conscious?
Well, to be fair, let's cut to Lamont, close up.
Oh, shit. Lamont kind of, touches his face, and you just see him pull his hand back, and it's just probably just pretty bloody. He's pretty dazed. He's definitely conscious, but dazed. He just kind of curses to himself and starts to dust himself off and stand up. Man, what the hell was that?
I don't know, but crap, guys, I have to be home in 5 minutes. We gotta hurry this up.
Cassandra starts hastily jotting things down in her book.
There's someone down there. Can we leave her? We can't leave her.
Theo, I told you this was too dangerous, and you didn't listen to me. And I'm going home. And Xian balls her eyes out and just runs home holding these chains.
Right, so Xian...
Cassandra runs after her.
Xian runs out of the gate, grabs hold of her bike, gets onto it. Cassandra, you run out there as she's sort of like holding her bike, swinging a leg over it. You catch up to her just then.
Wait.
What is it, Cass?
Are you okay?
Lamont got hurt. This was an awful idea.
No, don't you see this was a brilliant idea? Because we've just figured out what's going on here.
No, Kath, this isn't one of your little conspiracy theory things. I know that that's what you think about, but that was a real thing, and we all got...
Exactly. It's a danger to all of us free Americans. There's a communist plot going on down there. You saw the bear run out. You heard that girl talking in Russian, or, who knows what. This is clearly a Russian plot.
Xian doesn't say anything else. Kind of nods.
Over to Anya and Theo.
Theo, we gotta go. I gotta go home now.
Yeah. She didn't look very talkative anyway. He kind of like turns and looks towards where the thing went. Well, if people need to leave to go home, we should all leave together. We can't risk anything,
I think it's too late for that.
Well, as long as me and Lamont are with you, everybody's going to be fine. He's going to close the doors and lead Anya, and I guess Lamont is still around this area.
Mm-hmm. You catch up to Lamont and you take a look at him, and he's bleeding. And
shit, are you okay?
Yeah, I think I lost a tooth.
Damn, it's just not one of the noticeable ones, is it?
It's pretty bad. And he kind of like lifts his lip up so you can see.
Well, Well, if you don't lift your lip up, you still got them movie star looks. You'll be all right.
I don't know how I'm gonna explain this to my parents.
You could, when's the next big game? You could always, say you took a fall. Something like that.
Right.
And you all, you all sort of melancholily, like, make your way home. Anya, make a flight check. The DC will be 4.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. I need to explode. Unless this has to do with me being a ranger.
No.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait. I can expend an adversity token, yeah?
Yes.
I will expend an adversity token. So that's a 4.
Nice. Anya, you rock up 1 minute early. You put your bike away. You get inside. Your mum's sitting there sort of like watching like a singer on TV. And she turns around and she's like, "Oh, hey, honey."
Don't worry, I made it back just in time.
"I knew you would." And she comes and gives you a little hug. And she says, "And time for your bath now, okay?"
Yep.
Alright. She just sort of sits back down again, and as you're sort of walking up the stairs, she's like, she says, "So are they smart?"
Who's smart?
Your friends.
Oh, they're all very, very intelligent.
I hope so. She's just sort of like talking with her back to you as she's watching TV. And yeah, and you get up there and start running your bath. Lamont, you make it home. You have your baseball bat. Would you like to get in without... Well, your sister knows that you've got it, so it doesn't really make a difference. But you get in anyway. And you see that your mum's car is there. You walk in, and you see that they're sort of having a sort of light supper. Your parents. Sam is already in bed. And you get in there. How does it go? You go in.
Hey, Pops. Hey, Mom.
Hey, son. They just look at you. Are you making any effort to sort of hide this tooth?
No, I think Lamont actually pretty much immediately goes, kinda took a tumble tonight. I don't want you to be mad at me.
Your mum immediately stands up. You can see that she's still in her, like, attorney's uniform. She's very, very beautiful. Like, she's literally like a hot mom, you know what I mean? Like, she's got, like, really long sort of, like, it's not curly, it's sort of, like, wavy, shiny black hair that she does perfectly, not just every morning, but she, like, retouches it up all the time. She's got this sort of, like, white blouse on with, like, very cornered collar to it. And she has just been sat back, sort of, like, she has been drinking a little bit of sort of bourbon in a glass as well, just sort of, like, on the rocks. And she comes over to you, she sort of grabs your shoulders very sort of, like, kindly. You can smell a bit of the bourbon on her breath. And she's like, "Oh, honey, what's happened to you?"
Well, right after me and Theo got done practicing our lines for the play, we decided to play some ball, and I just tripped, just took a fall.
She literally is putting her fingers, like, in your mouth and lifting your lip up, and she's going, "Oh, we're gonna have to take you to the dentist. This is... Oh no!" And she, like, claps her hand over her mouth and looks over at your dad. Your dad's, like, jumps up straight away like he's, like, important. And he comes over and takes a look at it, and it's like, "Oh, son." He's like, They look extremely concerned, but then he tries to relax his face to not make you so worried about it. Yeah, we'll call the dentist first thing tomorrow. He starts like writing it down on a little pad next to the phone on the table near the staircase. And he says, you need to get some ice on that mouth. And he just runs into the kitchen and brings you a sort of like a bag of frozen peas. He just slaps it against your cheek. And she's like, the mum is like, she's just sort of looks concerned at you. Make a charm check for the general lie, just to see how suspicious she is of you. The DC will be 6.
So because I have a D20, I can...
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, just say I take half, and then just say I take the win if you've got it. Yeah. So yeah. But she trusts you. You see her face of suspicion sort of relaxes a bit, and she knows you're a sporty kid. She knows that, you're probably going to get into some scrapes and stuff like that, but you still see that she sits down and sort of shakes her head a little bit like, oh, kids are getting into, trouble sometimes. She's got to deal with that as a parent, and she sighs into it, and yeah, your dad sort of like looks after you a little before you go to bed, and they make you a nice little cup of cocoa and stuff to try and make you feel better. But yeah. And everybody else who hasn't really had any sort of big thing happen to them just gets home, and straight away, let's see here. When Xian gets in, your dad's sitting there sort of like smirking a little, but your mum immediately like comes up to you, and she's like, she says, my notes are so terrible.
She says that?
If I was at a table right now and this was a live game, I'd just be like, give me a second, and it'd be okay, because you'd know that I'm reading my notes. She says... Oh, yeah. Okay. Right, yeah. She doesn't say anything. she just, again, it's irrelevant. Just ignore the fact that I've made that scene. Okay, right. I was just going to do something, but I went against it because there's not enough thing for it. So yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, you all just sleep the night and wake up Saturday morning. Lamont, your dad's already on the phone to the dentist straight away.
You're not doing Cassandra again?
No, because I just said we're sweeping past we're sweeping past Theo, we're sweeping past Cassandra. We don't have to go to everyone's houses all the time. It's just if there's an event to be had, then we'll focus on it a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we don't need to do Xian, we don't need to do Theo, we don't need to do Cass. So yeah. You wake up Saturday morning. Lamont, you have an appointment at 3 PM at the dentist, and then you also have your dad's film night. So he tells you that you can go to the dentist, and then afterwards you'll go to the video shop and choose the film straight after that. He expects to be with you from 3 till the night time. Everyone else is sort of free to do whatever, as no one's had any suspicions of where you are that night. Who wants the cut? Who wants the scene? If anyone wants a scene before Lamont's 3 PM dentist...
I'll have a scene.
Okay, Cass.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take one after Cass.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Cassandra wakes up in the morning, and the first thing she does is collects a library card and heads down to the public library.
Nice.
Where she's going to use her knowledge of the Dewey Decimal System and find a book on English to Russian translation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll. Roll a brains. Oh no, you can just choose to take half. Yeah, you find
Yeah.
a book. Yeah, that's fine. You have narrative control. What you're seeing.
Yeah, Cassandra is going to, she's going to spend most of the day reading through this, English to Russian translation. See if she can sort of understand any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly, if she's going to be listening in or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
talking to this Russian spy,
Mm-hmm.
then she'll need to get a bit of that under her belt.
To your surprise with this, you do find all the correct books, and to your surprise, the noises that the girl was making doesn't align with any of this language.
Cassandra starts writing down in her big book of conspiracies.
Alright. Xian.
Xian is very shaken from the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Xian goes to the library. They are on very bad terms with the librarian.
Mm-hmm.
As last time she was there, she had a chemical explosion accidentally happen. Xian doesn't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But she goes into the mythological section, and kind of tries to sweep a book into her bag
Mm-hmm.
about local myths and legends without being noticed.
Okay. Roll a brains DC 6.
I will go ahead and take half.
Oh, nice. Okay. You find a book of mythological creatures, and as you're sort of flipping through it, nothing's really sort of standing out as what could be something to do with that creature that you saw, except one image. One image of a wolf man. A man, part wolf, right? And as soon as you look at it, it just strikes you straight away. And you're like, whoa. It's not local myths and legends. It's, you've found, with your brains, you've looked through everything. You've looked through local, it's not that. You've looked through everything, and now it's just, you've got to general sort of strange creatures. And as you've been through it all, and as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, and that's the book that you're gonna swipe. Now roll a flight, and your flight will be, I'll say, your flight's gonna be like an 8.
Alright, I'll take half on that one too. I got a 10.
Nice. Yep, so you make off with this book, which has the picture of the Wolfman in it. Alright. Does anyone want a scene before Lamont? Okay. Oh, Andrew?
I was just going to say the main thing that Theo would probably do today, since all of his friends can't hang out, he'd probably think of anywhere else he would go at the minute. So maybe the gas station. He'd probably go and want to ask if there's been any rumors of an animal on the loose in the town.
Okay. Alright, so you head on over to the gas station. And there you see that that Zara is, she's about 13. She's the one that's standing at the counter today. And you can see that Mr. Pavel's just sort of knocking around in the back. He's sort of counting his stock and stuff like that. And you see that that Xian is he's young, he's 7. Xian is just reading on a chair behind Zara. He's reading a sort of just like a school book. As you know, these two kids are homeschooled. So it's almost like she's just standing in for a second whilst he has to count stock. You don't think that they hire people, really, because he's a bit stingy with money. So you kind of get the idea that that's why they're homeschooled, so that they can, step in every now and then. But Zara's there anyway, she's 13.
Theo will step up with a candy bar or something to buy, just to have an excuse to go in. And
She looks kind of bored, and she's like, hey.
Hey, anything exciting happening today?
I wish.
I gotta do geology later.
Geology. What could be so hard about that? It's just rocks.
There's nothing more boring than rocks.
Tell you what's a bit more interesting than rocks, though. I mean, you get a bunch of people. Everyone from the town comes through here in a day, right?
Yeah.
You have a listen into them, see what they're talking about. I'd do that if I worked here.
Oh, what? Like old man fucking... She's like swearing under her breath, and the brother immediately looks up like, you know, like, sort of thing, and she like looks at him like, like, stop, you know. And she's like, oh, you know, old man Williams' car broke down the other day. Oh, and, you know, Karen Johnson's husband's cheating on her. Like, that kind of stuff.
Mr. Johnson's cheating on... Wow. No, I mean, well, that could be quite interesting, but I'm thinking more like, you know, exciting stuff. You hear about the animals going around town?
Well, like raccoons, beavers.
Nah, not like that. I'm talking long claws, shadowy black fur.
Xian's like looking directly at you with his like mouth open, and Zara just turns around to him and she's just like, "Get out of here! Stop looking at us!" And he's like, "A monster?" And she's like, "No, don't be stupid. He's just being silly. Get out!" And she like puts a hand on his head and like moves him away, and she leans forward over the counter and she's like, "Go on, tell me more."
Yeah, so rumor has it there's something, and you know rumors. There's some that say it's 7 foot tall. Some say it's no bigger than a dog, but something stalking around at night. They can hear snarling. You hear anything like that?
No. But, you know, she like roots around like sort of under the counter. And you see that she pulls out a box, right, and she starts to open up the box, and on the front of it, it's literally got like a photograph of 2 like walkie-talkies. They like say like high range on them, like long range sort of walkie-talkies, like radio on it or whatever. She starts just unwrapping them as if they just belong to her, and she's like, "No, but if you hear anything," and she passes you one. She puts some batteries in it, like unwraps some new batteries and puts them in. You know, take this and I'll keep it on. I'll turn it on at, say, every hour for 5 minutes.
On the hour?
Yeah.
I'll do the same. Yeah, you got the main street in town. You see anything snarly or furry or clawy? I mean, maybe I'm, as you say, just talking bullshit, but you never know.
She smiles at you in a bit of a coy way. You feel like she might have a crush on you.
Theo flashes a smile back just to keep that charm going.
Alright.
Yeah. Pockets the radio and goes,
"Are you going to pay for that?" She says about the candy bar.
I assumed that was done while we were talking. Sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgetful, you know.
She just wanted you to come back. But yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Xian is going to go up to Cass during school and kind of whisper in her ear, or like get her close at like a lunch table or something.
This is Saturday.
It's a Saturday.
Oh, this is Saturday.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
she's gonna meet up with Cass.
Yeah. You'd have to say how you have arranged that too. So you could go to a house.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Cass's house.
Alright, okay. Knock, knock, knock. Cass's mum opens the door. You can see she's got like an apron on and she's got like a shitload of like cake batter all over her. And she's like, "Oh, hey, sweetie.
Hi, Mrs. Jones.
Did you have fun last night?"
Yeah, the project went well. Can I talk to Cass, please?
"Sure, Cass!" And she shouts up to her and turns around and just like walks into the house, leaving the door open for you. She has called up
Xian
the
walked-
stairs, yeah. She's called up the stairs for Cass.
Well, so
Okay.
she's called to Cass's room. It's a one floor.
Oh yeah,
but
shit, not the stairs, yeah, sorry. It's really hard for me
Yeah.
to remember the layout of everyone's
No,
houses.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, because Cassandra, like, well, I guess she would shout, "What?"
Your friend's here! And then she's like, she actually starts walking up the stairs, and as she passes on the stairs, she's like, the rich one.
What stairs?
Oh shit! Fucking hell! Sorry, I keep imagining this exact same house. I'm sorry. Right? Yeah. As she passes you in the hallway, she says, "The rich one," and like smirks at you.
And Cassandra goes to Xian. Oh, hey Xian, how you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I wanted to ask you something.
Oh, that's great. There was something I needed to ask you, but yours can go first.
Can we, like, go for a walk or something?
Yeah, sure. Let me just get my book. And Cassandra goes, gets the book, and then she heads on up with Xian. What's up, Buttercup?
Xian pulls out the book that she got from earlier. Says, I think we need to go back to the house. If we have to get... No, not now. Tonight.
Oh, yeah.
If we have to grab Anya, try to convince her, I think this may be a little... You might have some real conspiracy theory on your hands.
Oh, I know. Yeah, definitely.
What you saw last
Communist,
night...
right?
No. What you saw last night, I don't think that was a bear.
You don't?
I pull out the book and I flip to the page and I show it to Cass. This looks more like what we saw last night.
Cassandra looks at this depiction of a wolf man and scratches her head and just sort of looks a bit puzzled at Xian. No, we're talking about real things, not fairy tales.
I won't go to the house by myself, but I figured that with Theo worrying and all this, after what I saw last night, it seemed like it needed a bit more urgency, and I thought we would get as many of us together as we could, and bust that little girl out if we can. I don't want Lamont to get hurt anymore. You know how I feel about him.
Don't worry, Lamont. Lamont won't be hurt. But I won't lie. I mean, sure, it looks very similar to this. I won't dispute that. But I mean, was it even a full moon?
I don't know. Were you paying attention?
Nah. But you know, I think most likely it was definitely a bear. I did do some research, and that girl wasn't speaking Russian, but you weren't there to hear what she said. Now, if this is communist, she could very well be a Chinese communist spy. They're communists too. I was wondering maybe, you know, we could go there. She could talk her language, and if it's the same one. I mean, do you know Chinese?
Yes, I know Chinese.
Great. So if it's the same language, then problem solved.
And then we can be helpful to the whole group when we go and look at it next time.
Exactly. Brains over brawn, she says, tapping her temple.
Xian taps it back and she's like, I'm so glad I have you as a friend, Cass.
Me
What
too.
time do you want to do this?
Let's see. Probably nighttime, because, you know, if it is a werewolf, I think nighttime's probably the best time, because, you know, under the cover of darkness, nobody can see us or whatever. We don't want the, you know, officer getting involved in this. Maybe we could all, like, plan to sneak out.
I think if we're doing it tonight, it'll be probably just me and you. Are you okay with that?
I think we need everyone. Like Theo always says. What does he... What was he saying? Something about teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, that one. Okay, we'll wait then.
Yeah.
Alright. Lamont, you're in the car with your dad. It's your mum's car. Your mum's been left at home to work. She's sort of sitting in her office, typing away on a little typewriter. All you've been hearing all day on that Saturday morning is the hoover, as your dad's been hoovering up the house, and your mum tapping away on the typewriter. But now you're in the car, you're in the front seat, and your dad's sort of like driving you from the dentist, which you've just been to. He did wait for you in the waiting room, and all they've done is sort of cleaned it out and removed the shards of tooth that were still stuck in there. They've put a bit of cotton wool into your tooth with a bit of a like sort of antiseptic, a little bit of pain-killing sort of stuff in there, and they've told you to just hold it against your gum for a while. You're sort of like looking out the window and things as he's excitedly talking to you, and he's like, so how about that movie? What are you thinking?
Yeah, you wanted something scary, right?
Yeah, oh, you know, something like there's that new movie came out, that Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that sounds good. What's it about?
I don't know, he said like slasher. I'm sure he's got like knives for hands or something.
Yeah.
Huh. What about that? We'll just see if they got it, you know. And he's just trying to make it really exciting for you. And it's like you rock up to 5-star video. He gets out of the car and waits for you to come with him. He puts his arm around your shoulders as you're sort of walking alongside him. He is like much taller than you, and the sun's sort of shining down. It's like fucking what, like 4 p.m. As you're walking in, and as soon as you get in there, it's like an onslaught of sensory overload, as there are several like TVs that are all up in the corners, like playing loads of different like clips from different movies. Rows and rows of VHS tapes just all displayed, lots of different colours. There's a sort of like spotty teenage guy sort of standing at the counter, and another like teenage girl sort of walking around like putting videos on the shelves and stuff like that. And as you're sort of perusing the area, you hear like a bunch of like punks like come in, like all like leather jackets and like sort of spiky haircuts and stuff. And you just overhear one saying, like, that party last night, man, I'm telling you, that guy was a vampire. And it's like, no, you've been watching too many movies. And you just hear like, nah, I'm telling you, he was standing there in his, you know, drinking that wine. I'm sure it was blood. And another one's like, if he was drinking blood, don't you think he would have like tried to jump on us by now? And you're just sort of hearing this conversation as your dad like runs straight over to you know, Nightmare on Elm Street, which is the feature movie of like the day, grabs it up and slams it on the counter, and he's so excited to get it, and he's like pointing at a box of popcorn as well. But you're just overhearing this conversation that some people are claiming that they've seen a vampire at a party. So that's what you hear during this moment. He picks it up and he turns around to you excited with this box of popcorn, and like it's covered, you know what I mean, it's like a do it at home sort of popcorn. And it's like, you want anything else? You know, candy, pick and mix.
Yeah, let's get some candy. I mean, we're making a night out of it, right?
Sure. He's so excited. And yeah, he's getting all of his stuff. Packs it all up, takes it into the car, drives away. So the evening's gonna pass, unless anyone wants a scene before in the evening. Saturday evening's gonna pass without much drama. Is that okay, everyone? Does anyone want to do anything?
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Yeah.
I do want to. Oh, God, sorry. Jason?
I said I'm good.
All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The evening passes. Sunday morning. Theo. This is the first and only day of the week that your mum gets off work. You wake up kind of late-ish, like later than you'd usually wake up. And you hear a sort of crackling coming from your walkie-talkie. And you just hear, "Hey, what's the point in doing this if you're not gonna answer?"
Yeah, hey, come in, Theo. This is Theo.
Hi. Yeah. How did you know that? Do you know something I don't know? Like, I know you said about some beast or something.
I know many things you don't know. What you talking about?
Well, I don't know. I heard some weird stuff.
Did you see something?
Yeah. And I didn't see it myself. I wish. She says, no, I don't know, I just heard, you know Mrs. Spur? The athletic director? Yeah, she, it's sports and stuff, at the high school. She's 13, so she's at the middle school, isn't she? Is that how that works in America? They're all in the same building, by the way. It's like split into different sections, hence why Samantha was waiting after school. They're like the elementary, middle, and high are all like in the same campus. So they're all very close together. But she's like, yeah, I overheard her friend Miriam. She was saying to her friend, they found something in the pool at school. You know, the swimming pool?
Yeah, what did they find? It wasn't, like, nasty, was it?
Well, they said it, I don't know, they said it... She thinks she's crazy, you know? It's like... some creature or something walking on two legs, like it's a fish or something. I don't know, it sounds so dumb. Like, that's dumb, right?
Yeah, that's dumb. That really does sound dumb. I can tell you now, it's nothing like a fish. See that fur and the claws?
No,
that's what it's like.
It's not what they described. It said it was like scaly, wet, and
They said scaly.
Yeah, like with big lips, like spiky teeth or something. Swimming around in there, like deep down, and then I don't know. I guess they're too scared to look in there or something. I don't know.
This is good. This is good intel. See, I told you you'd get a lot of whispers around your area. If you see anything like hinky going on outside, your door's locked, right? I know your dad's gonna want to be open for business and stuff, but you can just in a second, can't you?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, we got this under control, but just until I say that we've finished with our investigation, the case is officially open.
Alright, well, I just don't think that I can... Do you think, like, you said it's like a hairy thing, they're saying it's like a fish thing? Like, that doesn't make sense. Are you sure you saw what you saw?
Oh, I'm sure I saw what I saw, but this is starting to make me wonder if what I saw is the only thing to see. You heard the rumors, right? Something crazy's going on in this town. I used to think Cassandra was a bit crazy herself, but I've seen some shit.
Well, and then you just hear in the background, like, Zara! Get on over here with that stuff! And it's like, oh my god, my dad. Alright, so, no, she don't even rod her out, she's just like, turns off. Yeah.
Theo will turn his off and then get up and get dressed quickly. He's gonna attempt to go out to see Cassandra, Lamont, and whoever's closest to him first and try and gather everyone together.
Alright, let's get on that map. Okay, as you sort of like running out of the house, your mum's like, she's like, oh hey baby boy, and she like waves at you. She's very sort of like loose and sort of like not scraggly, but like she literally has like really like puffy sort of like curled up hair in a ponytail. Like she looks like it's all very like she works a lot, you know what I mean? She's just chilling today. She's got like a really loose sort of long blouse on, sort of leggings. She's got a little running shoes on, like she's tying her shoelaces. And she's like, I was just gonna head out for a run, but do you want to come with me?
Sorry, Mom, I can't today. I've already arranged with Lamont. We're gonna run lines. You know how it is.
No, come on, let me come with you. I'd like to meet your friends. I never get a day off.
You'll be. I can't spoil the surprise. You can be able to see the play when it's on, but until then, me and Lamont, we're just not ready. You can't see it yet.
Come on, I can be the other characters, you know? I'll hold the script. I'll make sure you're just saying your lines right.
I just... He doesn't actually take this long to answer. I'm having a fucking
fine.
brain fart.
That's fine. Take your time.
I don't have anything smart to say, so I'm just gonna be like, nah, not today, Mom. We kind of got this thing going on where he's quite nervous, you know, around crowds and stuff and audiences. So we're trying to work through that because I mean, I'm the lead, obviously, but he's the main villain. He's like a massive part. So I just need to work up to him performing in front of other people first. To be honest, we already know the lines back and forth. It's just working on this. You know, I gotta help him out.
She looks at you, sort of tilts her head a little, and she has a little, kind of like a shadow of a smirk on her face, but not a smirk, not like a mean smirk, like a knowing smirk. And she says, you know, if you ever want to tell me anything, you know you can, right?
Yeah, I know that.
You sure?
Yeah. If I ever end up in any trouble or anything, you're the first person I'll come to.
Do you have anything that you need to tell me? That you might want to tell me? Even if you don't want to tell me?
I'm late for meeting Lamont, but that's about it.
Alright. She smiles and she says, well, don't be late for dinner. And then you get out.
No, I'll chill with you later. I can't miss your day off. We'll do something later. And he leaves.
Oh.
Okay. So you're going to meet up with Lamont and Cass, did you say?
Well, Cass is this house here, so Cass is actually closer.
Yeah. I guess this could be like a montage of you just knocking on everyone's houses, because I suppose everyone would be in their houses. So you can all get back together and go to the clubhouse if you like. Yeah?
Yeah, we can convene at the clubhouse before doing anything.
Right, okay. Is it anyone you want to speak to on their own first, or do you want to just knock on everyone's door, get them all to the clubhouse?
If everyone can get out of their house to the clubhouse with no contest, if anyone
there's no
needs
no contest
with their parents,
no contest on a Sunday. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all go to the juries then.
Real quick.
Yep.
When Xian wakes up in the morning, she takes those chains and shows them to her dad, and she's like, they're like, "Hey, Papa, I found these chains on the side of the road with a padlock on them, and I was practicing that thing you showed me about finding all the pins in a locking mechanism and such. I was just wondering, do you know the composition? Like, are these steel, or what are these chains made out of?"
He like holds them up, and he just sort of inspects them, and he's like, "Well, darling, there's not really a way to tell with these things. I'd have to test it." And he's going to let's have a look here. He's going to sort of look. Let's see here. He's just going to start inspecting it around his sort of workstation area. Let's see. Yeah, he says, well, my best guess is that it's probably steel. Most likely. And you can see that it's like strands of steel that have been like pulled together, like sort of rope, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find an example of where to actually describe this. Right, okay. This without the rubber on, I'm just going to send it to the players chat. You see how it's got like a white plastic rubber around it, but underneath it's got like this spun sort of like steel sort of like rope to it. It's like that.
Xian thanks her dad and takes the chain back.
I'll also show that to the stream just in case. But yeah.
Let our many viewers.
Yeah. So
by the way, to our many viewers in Russia and in China, of course, I'm just playing a character.
Of course, conspiracy theorist Cass.
Yeah.
So you take the rope, the metal rope. Yeah.
That's all I needed. I'm good.
Okay. So it's steel. Right. So Theo goes round knocking on everyone's houses. At Xian's though, you aren't very aware that Xian's mum doesn't like you.
Could I send Cass to Xian's door if I collected Cass first?
Sure. You probably have an idea, but like you don't know to what extent or why.
Okay.
Yeah. Cass goes and gets Xian, and you all convene at your clubhouse. What's your clubhouse like?
I feel like it's like we all have like different sections dedicated to each other.
Okay.
And then like in the middle of it, yeah.
Yeah, so so each describe components of this clubhouse that belong to you or that have been constructed by you. Like sections that are your sort of mark on this clubhouse.
Cassandra has this massive corkboard with like loads of pictures. It's got like a map of the town on it. It's got like all of the sort of ribbons leading from one point to another. Like there's this wild sort of like piecing all the information together that nobody except for Cassandra can even slightly understand. And when Cassandra explains it to people, they just get more confused about what she's going on about. But that's her thing.
Mm-hmm. Lamont.
Lamont has like a football and a soccer ball, just for like messing around with Theo when they're out there.
All right, Theo.
Theo would have a little place to sit and a little kind of pseudo table, just a flat surface, with a bunch of mismatched chess pieces, a salt shaker, something like that, just so if he was ever having plans of you go here, I go there, he can just kind of put them into order. But that's all he really has, like, as items there.
All right, Anya.
I think Anya would have like a desk area with like some law books, maybe some practice bar exams, stuff like that, just on the desk.
Nice. And Xian?
Xian has like blueprints of like steam engines, and they actually built a little mini generator over the course of a few months, and so the clubhouse has lighting.
That's cool.
Nice.
As Theo kind of frantically leads everyone to the clubhouse. So there's new developments, guys. There's new developments. First off, how's everyone doing? Lamont, how's your tooth?
It's gone.
They say anything they can do about it, or?
Not really. It doesn't really hurt anymore though, so.
Well, that's good. Shit, I'm sorry we weren't as prepared as we should have been, but we will be next time, yeah?
Yeah.
Xian, you're a bit shook up. Are you okay now?
Xian has bags under her eyes. You can probably guess that they didn't sleep very much at all last night. And they have the book like cradled to their chest like it's precious. You fine? Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine.
You got something new there, or looking at the book that you're holding?
Yeah. Yeah. They shake their head and they open up the book and turn it to the page, and it's I think I was talking to Cass about it, and I think this might be something like what we saw. Not a bear.
You've been able to identify it?
No, I don't know for certain if it is what it is, but bears don't run on two legs, and this was the only thing I could think of.
I've been doing some thinking about it. Now, I have found out they aren't Russian. That doesn't dissuade the fact that they could still be communist spies, or worse, communist scientists. Now, Cassandra puts her book down and she's sort of pacing around the table now. I assume there's a table where the books are. See, the first thing I thought when Xian showed me the Wolfman was that that's ridiculous. You know, this is stuff of fairy tale, of fantasy, of nonsense. No offense, Xian. But then I thought, well, maybe they're onto something. And I was thinking about it, and genetic splicing. Okay, so I think that these Soviet spies, or scientists more specifically, I think they've been taking people, experimenting on them, and splicing their genetics with bears or wolves or who knows what.
Theo is visibly getting more wide-eyed as you're describing this. he begins like as you're pacing, he paces like opposite you, and when you get to that point, he puts both of his hands onto your shoulders. Cass, you're a genius. You right? There's new news. Do you think that if they're splicing bears and furry stuff, do you reckon they'll be able to splice a fish with a man?
A fish with a man? Why would you do that? Well, I mean, if you know, let's say that people and a bear, they're both mammals, right? So they've got more similarities. I suppose it'd be quite hard to... Oh, obviously! And she snaps her fingers. Okay, they are trying to get some sort of underwater army because, you know, you fight with ships on sea. It's a risky thing. But what if they could just have submariners who were half human, half fish, and start jumping on board the deck? I mean, we're not going to be prepared for that.
Exactly right. So they got the bear man for the land, and they got, well, there's rumors at least of a fish man. So they're trying to conquer the sea as well. Xian, if you flick through that book, is there anything about fishmen in there? Maybe they're trying to make them real.
Xian flips through the book.
Okay.
The only thing, yeah.
You do actually find something, and it is labelled "The Creature from the Black Lagoon."
Like the book?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the book of like creatures, you do find a picture of something that resembles what Theo's describing. The creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it was a, what you're describing kind of looks like that one movie. Lamont, you and your dad, you're horror fans, you might know about it. The Creature from the Black Lagoon was like a 1954 film, I think.
Right.
A man who would terrorize people.
There's one thing I don't understand though. If they were scientists, how does that explain the little girl that was in the basement?
I mean, maybe... Well, that's just one more mystery to find out. Maybe they just have really smart children or something.
Or maybe they've got one for land, one for sea, and she might be the next one. We might see her next time all birded up or something.
Maybe
like a
she's there to...
Like a what?
Like a harpy from Greek mythology?
Maybe she's a siren.
Like an angel of death.
Maybe she's there to lure us all in.
That actually could be the case. She kind of was trying to get us to follow her, sort of.
Yeah.
Well, until we understand more, I think that might be the last thing we want to do, right, guys?
As soon as you say that might be the last thing you want to do, you hear a knock at your clubhouse door. It's a very light knock, and it's quite polite, like did.
Okay. Xian's gonna peek out the window, and like stealthily.
You peek out the window. You see a small, slight girl with blonde, scraggly hair. Very, very disgraceful clothes, all ratty and tangled. She's sort of like leaning to one side, like leaning to the other side, looking. And she goes, "I know you're in there."
Who is it?
Can I?
Go on, Dirty.
I'm gonna lock the door.
She says, "It's me, Juniper."
I like
Juniper.
roll over to the group and I'm like, I whisper. I'm like, does this girl look familiar to me at all?
You wouldn't have seen it.
Yeah, you didn't see her.
Okay. I describe the girl to them. Or Xian describes the girl to them. I don't like this guy. And they are visibly shaking and they look frightened.
As you
Hey.
Oh, sorry, Lamont.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We're not gonna let anything bad happen to anybody.
Did you say that you see her sort of like little blonde head like rise up next to the window and she's like smiling and waving at you? Are you gonna let me in? Are you gonna leave me out here all day?
Maybe she's like a vampire. Oh, that's stupid.
It's not stupid.
No, all of this talk of monsters, vampires. No.
But don't you guys find it a little weird that we were talking about all this, and all of a sudden, the little girl that you guys were talking about, and then a little girl pops up in our window.
Does the
strange-
little girl?
What's strangest of all is how does she know where we are?
You see the handle of the clubhouse door start to turn, and you see that the sort of wood strains a little as it's getting pulled. The door's getting pulled.
Cassandra immediately rushes over to a conspiracy board and tears it down.
Anya will run to grab one of the law books and brandish it as a weapon.
The lock on the door strains, and you see that the sort of the screws that are in the actual lock mechanism itself just start to like creak open, and the door just pops open with an unnatural strength, and she stands there and goes, "Why are you running away from me?"
Why are you following us?
We have a destiny. And she starts laughing. And again starts just under her breath. Xian, this is not any sort of Chinese language at all.
Is that Chinese, Xian?
That's not a language I've ever heard before.
Could be Vietnamese.
We're all here.
What did you say your name was again?
I'm Juniper.
Juniper?
Yeah.
Type of berry.
And you know what? She takes a step over the threshold into your clubhouse. She points her finger at like all of you. It's yours, and yours fault.
Guys, does anyone have any salt?
It's all your fault.
All your salt. No,
What's our fault?
You let them free, silly.
What the hell is that thing?
Well, she jumps up onto a table and crosses her legs. There's 4 of them. And I'd been keeping them trapped in there, all safe like. And you come along, and she points at Theo, and boom, they all get out.
All?
All 4 of them. I had them under lock and key, nice and safe. And you let them escape.
Well, let me ask you a little something. Have you been doing a lot of crying recently? Been a little bit upset?
Sometimes they're not really nice to me.
She sort of like turns around and like through her raggedy clothes, she like pulls like a shirt up at the back, and all down her back is like so many scratch marks, loads of different sort of like wounds and things like that, like massive bruises, sort of like deep bites and stuff like that. But she just very nonchalantly shows you these.
Theo's gonna slowly start to approach her. Like, slowly, not like any drastic movements. Well, you see, maybe I didn't let them all out. Maybe I went over there to get you free. And they were accidents.
She starts mumbling again, like,
What's happening? I've synced time to faith. It's never even stuff. And
What language is that?
it completely ignores you. And she says,
now you've got to be real careful. 'Cause they'll get you. And they'll get you bad. And they'll get you much worse than this.
What do we do now?
One of them is a half man, half beast, and can switch between the two.
Werewolf?
I don't know what it's called. The other one? Lots of different body parts all stuck together. Kinda like a human.
Like a Frankenstein.
The third one...
monster.
The third one is beautiful. Elegant clothes. Real fashionable like. But like really white skin. Pale. And last, the other one can breathe underwater. Kinda looks like a fish. And they're all really dangerous. And you let them free into your own town.
Why were they here in the first place? Because you and your team of scientists, you made them.
Scientists?
You know, people who do science.
Resilient to the thing.
Are you able to track these monstrosities like you were able to track us?
It is my purpose to get those monsters back into that house. It's my destiny, and now it's yours. We can all be like best friends.
So, do you know how to get them then? How to stop them doing what they did to you? To us?
There's plenty of ways. You just gotta be really imaginative. I guess this could help.
and she holds a hand out, clicks her fingers, and fire just bursts out of her hand. And it lights up her face, and she just smiles really big.
If you make this even bigger, I can wipe my hand across the sky and make all the fire go everywhere I want it to. Can I show you?
She's gonna
No.
like put her hand near some like papers on the desk.
No, my exams, fucking shit.
We best save that sort of stuff for when we come across one. We don't want you getting too tired or anything before we meet one.
Okay.
And she just clicks her fingers and the fire goes out. You also get the impression that she's supremely strong. Like, she's burst that door off its, like, lock just burst off its hinges. Like,
Theo's eyes are gonna stay on Juniper.
mhm.
Lamont, you said you watch those horror pictures and stuff. Did you ever see that creature from the Black Lagoon one?
No, but I bet my dad has.
Shit. I was gonna say if you knew how they kill it in the end. We might want to talk to your dad, but we need to break into school, guys.
Wait. Are we actually doing this?
What else are we supposed to do? It's Monday tomorrow, guys. the fish man I was telling you about. I've heard on the grapevine it's in the pool in school. We can't have everybody going to school tomorrow with that thing still in there.
So you've heard rumors that this fish monster is in the pool at the school?
I tried putting feelers out, trying to see if anybody had seen the bear, well, now it wolf man, but the only thing I found was apparently people have found a scaly creature just hanging around at the school pool. They're too scared to go in and get him. You know Officer Michaels ain't going to be able to deal with this.
I guess we can
So-
go check it out.
Can I look through that book?
Mm-hmm.
For the
So
other
I know
two
the
that we don't
four, the four things: the wolfman, the fish guy, the beautiful woman, which Xian is going to go on a limb and say that that's a siren. And then what was the fourth one?
It was the guy with all the arms and legs attached to him, right? It was a guy with a bunch of limbs.
Yeah.
Can I look those two up, and then I want to look up weaknesses, if like what the weaknesses from Legends stated they were.
All right. So, you look through the book, and you can just do this because you can take the half and succeed. And you gather that these creatures are a werewolf, Frankenstein's monster, a vampire, and a creature from the Black Lagoon. So the werewolf's weakness is silver. The Frankenstein's monster's weakness is love.
Yeah, I thought so.
The vampire's weakness would be holy water and garlic, etc., and sunlight. So you know that it wouldn't be out in the day. And the creature from the Black Lagoon, it's a little bit more ambiguous, but you get the idea that it probably... let's have a look here.
It needs to be hydrated, sure.
It needs to be hydrated, sure, but then if it's hydrated with something other than, you know, like if it's like some sort of pesticide or something, then, you know what I mean, it'd get into its pores, it'd breathe it in, sort of thing. Not pores, but you know what I mean, like it'd get into its like gills and hurt it and stuff like that. So not clean water, in other words, just chemicals and stuff like that.
Wooding?
Well, Theo, I certainly don't think it'd be at the pool. Assuming that they chlorinate the pool, which I hope they do.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was muted. I'm just going by what I heard. It could be a good place to start and see if there's any... I don't know if a fish leaves tracks, but...
It could be in the showers at the high school. Around the pool.
I wanted to point out to you guys that fish man potentially is extremely dangerous. It's been reported to, like, it can flip cars. This thing is insane, guys.
She looks at you with a sort of look of like you're silly, and she says,
They're all extremely dangerous. Why do you think I'm trying to keep them all together in one place? away from you guys. You little, soft people.
Miss Juniper,
Hmm.
you want them back alive?
Well,
Or is it more important that they're not hurting people?
preferably. But I don't think it really matters at this point.
Guys, I want to help this little girl.
Well,
I don't know why. Maybe I just relate to her in some small way. But I want to help.
Yeah, I don't think a little girl like you should be trapped down there with them. You say it's your destiny. Or did someone just tell you to stay there? You don't have to do that.
Maybe I had it so they were trapped down there with me.
Guys, are you, like, crazy? I mean, this is insane. What, so a bunch of Soviet super soldiers have got free, and now their scientist leader wants to cover it up and is getting us to do it, and we're actually gonna do it?
Well, what's the alternative, Cass? We just gonna let them run around and kill all the kids in the school, your teachers, everyone? Who else are we gonna call?
Sorry.
No, sorry, I'll talk to Rita.
I don't think we really have much of a choice here.
I think we're on our own, guys.
I mean, if you want to call up Officer Michaels and try and explain Fishman to him, be my guest, but...
Well, on the bright side, I know it's just a book about myths and legends, but... And Xian goes on to explain their weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how accurate it is, but it's the best shot we got. All of our families are in danger. And you know me, guys. I don't like danger.
I don't think we should.
I do like my dad.
I don't think we should cling to that book too heavily, though.
it's a good reference for what we're looking for, but I don't think it has the information we need in order to stop these things.
I mean, that's a
will
book
go-
about magic, you know, and fairy tales. That isn't real.
Cass, you literally just saw a little girl set a piece of paper on fire with her mind.
I saw the transfer of kinetic energy into pyro energy, into fire. It's a normal thing. Like when you run, you get warm, you know, because you start to sweat and your body warms up. It's science. It's not magic.
What about the hairy wolf man?
Genetic
That was
splicing.
8 feet tall.
Genetic splicing. They're making super soldiers.
Miss Juniper.
Yeah,
Can you
my new
explain a
best
little bit
friend.
Xian blushes a little bit at that.
Cassandra
And
frowns.
reaches out to offer a hand to the little girl.
She takes it. Just casually sort of holds your hand, smiling.
Thank you for coming to us about this. Is this like what Cass is saying? Is this government stuff? Or is this something a little bit beyond our understanding?
I don't know what you mean. Government stuff?
Even if it were government stuff, she has no need to tell us that it is.
Yeah, you wouldn't exactly expect a communist spy scientist to admit to it.
Oh, please, Cass, she's a little girl.
She looks like a little girl, but if they're doing like biological engineering and stuff, this could be like a 40-year-old man, 60-year-old for all we know.
That's really funny.
Cass, I love you, but for once, can you get your head out of your ass?
What are you talking about? Have you lost your senses? What? Because there's a thing that looks like a little girl, and automatically that's just a magic? Is that just... Are we gonna accept magic over science?
Guys, you're fighting over the wrong things here. We're getting sidetracked. It doesn't matter about where they've come from or who's doing this right now. The longer we, quite frankly, dick about, the stronger the chance is that they might hurt somebody. So we can figure all this out later. There's no need to fight. There's no need to fight between us. We need each other. Teamwork makes the... Come on, guys. Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
The dream.
That's exactly it. So, right. We got to think. How do you catch a fish?
With a net.
Exactly.
Net.
This is why we're together. Sorry, what was that? I spoke over you, Cass.
Cassandra says, Annette, who's that? What, we're bringing in a new person?
No, like a fishing net.
Cassandra looks a little bit like, oh yeah.
I don't think the house is going to have a fishing net big enough for this guy, but we're in luck if he's in the school. Lamont, we can go to the gym. They have those tennis nets, right?
Right. We can maybe ask Miss Spur if we could borrow one.
It's Sunday, so I'm not sure if anyone's going to be in. DM, correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Yeah, it's Sunday, so the school will be empty.
Yeah.
As far as you're aware.
If we can just find our way in there, then maybe we can commandeer one just for the time being. We'll put it back. If you said like chemicals and stuff getting in the gills, that's what's going to kill this guy. So if we get them from the store, we fill the pool, we can use the net to wrap around him, and then hoist him in. That sounds a bit dangerous.
Xian says, Xian fiddles around in their backpack, and they pull out the chemicals their dad gave them. My dad gave me these. Maybe we could use these?
What's that? What are these things? Your dad has so many crazy things.
Yes, my dad's quite an interesting man. And they smile a little bit.
So wait, what have you got? Because you said you had
I got
gunpowder, magnesium. Because you didn't
chemicals.
You didn't have chemicals before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then never mind.
No, because
magnesium and gunpowder.
That's Theo's feature to be able to do that with adversity tokens.
Isn't it only like household objects?
Yeah, you can't produce things unless you've already collected them. Only Theo can do that with spending 2. Is it 2 that you have to spend?
2 adversity tokens I have to spend.
Yeah. Okay.
I meant more so I pull out the magnesium and the gunpowder.
Mm-hmm.
Magnesium's a chemical, I believe.
Magnesium's a metal. If you burn it,
that's players.
Yeah, that's why. Okay, that's why you thought. Right. Okay.
If you set fire to it, it produces an incredibly bright, blinding light. So we could use that to stun them. I'm thinking maybe in the science department. Now that we're talking about science, we could probably find hydrochloric acid. pour that in the pool, but that'd probably burn through the pool.
What about Drano? That's in everybody's, in any kitchen you can find that.
Oh,
I
that's
bet
a good
that's in
idea.
the janitor's closet.
Yeah.
You're a
Oh yeah,
genius,
the
Lamont.
janitor's closet should have a bunch of chemicals.
Right, and also if you fuse bleach and something else, I can't remember what, but you can make chloroform.
They're gonna say napalm.
Like Cassandra would know how to make that.
Google how to make napalm.
I mean, this is, I can get behind that. Like chemicals would reasonably kill a swimming thing. I think this quote unquote vampire. I mean, should we all walk around with braids of garlic around our neck and each one of us carry a mirror around and check people's reflections?
Wait,
Well,
which one's the vampire?
The very
Well-
pale lady.
Oh, okay.
Juniper said she has very extravagant clothes, so that would probably be a giveaway.
And she is like an albino.
If
But
the
we wouldn't
movies are to
ever
be
find her
believed,
during
she's.
the day.
Well, it's currently the
it's-
middle of the day, so we shouldn't be finding her anyway.
It's always good to have a plan, though. What about the other two? Now, see, Silver, we could probably... I mean, does anyone have silver? It'd be a hard thing to find.
I can go look at with my dad and see if he has anything.
Oh, right, you're rich. You could probably, like, buy something made of silver.
Silverware. Like forks and knives and spoons and stuff.
Right.
Forks and knives. That's a genius idea. We can stab
Yeah,
them.
I can
And-
go.
But for
That
the
would be
last
helpful.
one, for the last one,
Juniper's watching you all sort of like plan things or like think of ideas, and she's just like very eagerly like listening, and like every time you say something, she just sort of giggles a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, you're all so cute. I like you all really like a lot." And she says, "Oh, okay. I'm gonna help you out a little bit. I'll tell you about these guys. So, the lady, the pale lady, she likes to party. She likes drinking. She likes to live underground too, because she doesn't like the sun. I found her in a crypt, and I had to drag her through the sunlight. And it was kind of difficult because I had to keep it out of everyone's sight. But, and, about the fish man, he's definitely gonna be in some sort of water. But he had like a device that allowed him to like breathe on land. But it was, it kind of got a bit damaged in a fight whilst we're in the house, and I think it's malfunctioning. And well, the guy with the different body parts, well, he just wants to fit in, He likes music a lot. I like to put a bit of music on for him, and he likes dancing and being around a lot
Cassandra
of
looks
people.
over at Anya.
And the wolf man, well, he's just a hunter. He has a really strong sense of smell, and he likes running around and eating meat, gobbling things up. He tried to gobble me up one time, but
Is that where you got your scratches from? The wolf man?
all of them. Yeah. This is one from the wolf man. This is where the guy with the different body parts thumped me in my ribs because I turned his music off for a second.
this bite here, you know, the fishman wasn't having a very nice day. And, well, the lady, she just tries to trick me. But I just don't look her in the eyes.
Can the Wolfman and the beautiful lady turn people when they bite them? I don't know if you would know that, Juniper.
Turn people? What do you mean?
Well, if I look at this book, generally, well, vampires and werewolves spread their lycanthropy and vampirism through bite.
Well, I don't know. Do you have any more vampires in this town?
This is the first supernatural activity that's been documented in the world.
That's supernatural. Remember, Xian, I highly doubt that they'd have to be pretty lethal, like 100%. Now, they could be pretty lethal, like 99%, but if that 1% got away, then, if it was something contagious, then all of a sudden, the American soldiers have their super soldiers just because they were lazy. I don't think it'd be contagious.
Are we even sure the government knows about it?
I don't think the government should know about this, because I don't trust them not to try the very same thing.
I think Theo's right. I don't think arguing is going to do anything. I think we pick one.
We only know where one of them is right now, so I think the choice has been made for us.
That's also just based off of speculation, but it's the best thing to go off of so far.
And if we need those chemicals, then the school's our destination, either way.
For the music, I can ask to borrow my mom's stereo. It's kind of beaten up, so Xian, I'd ask for you to try and fix it, if that's possible.
Lamont, you know that your dad is playing a gig on Monday night.
My dad's playing live music Monday night.
You can choose where it is and say what it's called, like the place, the venue.
Over at the sorry.
It's okay. You can mark it on the map as well, wherever you want it to be. He's a saxophone player, so yeah.
Over at the Moody Blues Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of useful. All we have to do is get the thing to show up, have your dad stop playing his music, we use the stereo and try and drag it back to Poplar Court. If you're fine with having your father be used as bait, so to speak.
I think it's pretty likely to show up either way.
We do have a musician among us as well, though.
I do play the violin as well as Theo. You play
the trumpet.
Was it Theo or Lamont?
Oh, sorry. Lamont plays the trumpet. Sorry,
I'm bound here. We have two musicians among us. Sorry, I didn't realize. We have two musicians, so if Lamont, if your dad is the first bait, then maybe we could, get its attention. We trumpet, we violin, we lead it away from, the public, and we take it back to the house. Maybe try that.
Also,
Right.
the wolf man, the werewolf, he shouldn't be a threat during the day, as he is just a regular man. Or should be, at least, from what I know.
Assuming that's how it works.
So it seems as though our best bet is to just check the high school, see if the fishman's there.
But also, I think maybe we do need mirrors. I highly doubt that a vampire, and even if they are vampires, the reason for that entire myth that they don't have a reflection is because mirrors used to be silver-backed, but they're not silver-backed anymore, so we would be able to see her reflection either way. If she was, which I doubt. But it would be a good way to look at her, and also, don't look in her eyes. Now, this must be the stupidest thing I'm ever gonna say, because it's like entirely mythology, but Medusa, she said don't look in her eyes, right? Well, she doesn't look in her eyes. She made a point of saying that. She wouldn't say that for no reason, so her eyes do something. I don't know if they hypnotize or if they even turn someone to stone, which, again, is stupid. But whatever they do, if she looks into her own eyes, maybe that's how we get her.
The book here says that typically one who looks into a vampire's stare falls under, I guess, a sort of charming. Feels like they have to do the master's bidding.
Would that work, Juniper? If we held a mirror up to her while she tries to... Ooh, he holds up his hands to do like a magic twinkle with his hands. If she tries to do any of this, if we hold up a mirror, would that work?
I don't know. Why don't you try it and see? Remember, it's your destiny as well as mine.
Maybe we could also borrow some holy materials from the church.
Xian finishes scribbling in their notebook, closes the book, and says, I'll see you guys later, and climbs down the ladder to the house.
Wait, where are you going?
Later? Aren't we going to the school?
I'll meet you guys there. I gotta go take care of some things real quick.
I'm gonna look at everyone else. Nobody else has any plans on leaving, right? We got to be stronger together, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Has Xian just walked off, or are you still within talk distance?
If you guys are talking, I could probably hear you.
I was just gonna call back out. Are you sure you're not gonna come with us? We need you.
Give me an hour. It's a backup plan.
Are you gonna tell us what the backup plan is?
I'm not generally one for stupid things, but my father probably has something around the workshop that I can use or bring as a weapon. I just figured if our plans don't work like we want them to, we need a backup plan.
I guess that is fair. I guess we'll see you later.
Make sure you're careful. You don't want to get caught with anything that could be an improvised weapon or, an actual weapon.
Should you be going around by yourself? Like, do you want me to walk you to your house? I mean, there are creatures on the loose.
As you say that, Lamont, Xian's eyes widen, and they are like, "Oh no, Cass, you can come with me. Oh, that's okay. Thank you, Lamont. Yeah, Cass, if you want to come with me, it might be more than just I can carry."
Yeah, Cassandra. Like sort of looks at everyone and says, "Well, good luck, and remember to follow the scientific process." And then leaves with her book.
Okay.
Well, I guess it's just the three of us then.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to the three of us, but I don't feel confident doing this without our brains, or at least half our brains. I don't mean it like that, Anya. You smart, but
well, I mean, if we can't take down the fifth man right now, I've heard that vampires are weak to holy materials like the cross and stuff like that. So maybe we should go check out the church.
It's a good idea.
That's a fantastic idea. We should do that. Yeah, we'll suit up just like they are, and we'll meet at the school when they're ready.
All right. So, you all have these plans, and because this has gone on for much longer than I thought it would, we are going to call it and do a part 2, because there's much more to come, and yeah, I think it's quite difficult to cut when it's what's happening is good. So yeah, I think we're going to call it there because I'm quite enjoying the pace. I don't want to skip through anything. I don't want to cut too fast. I don't want to get it over and done with. I want this to happen naturally. So we will cut there.
We're doing Kids on Bikes, the D&D version.
Yes, it's literally that. It's literally that.
It's not a movie anymore. It's Stranger Things.
It's Stranger Things.
It's a mini-series, yeah.
So we will cut there as well because it'll give you guys time to sort of plan like fully what you want to do, because there will be a planning phase, that sort of montage-esque sort of getting your stuff together, choosing what order at which you're going to tackle things. And when you do, say for example, you're obviously going to go to the creature in the swimming pool first. When you do that, there'll obviously be other things happening as well, which might change your plans for the other three. So yeah, like it's not like, oh, get all your plans set in stone for each one, because you might not have enough clues about the werewolf yet or the vampire or whatever. So things will be in motion as you are approaching each thing. So I think the creature in the swimming pool is probably the best thing to go for first, because you have the most information about that. But yeah, so yeah, we'll call this here and we will pick it up again, not next Wednesday. I might have to change the day, so we'll organise that amongst ourselves. But next Wednesday I am not available to stream, so next One Shot Wednesday will not be streamed or recorded, but if you guys want to play something on Wednesday, then that's fine. But we'll have to figure out another day to finish this. But yeah, so thanks for listening. We have had a couple...
Thanks for listening, Not Wannabes. We post these videos on YouTube, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And also, here's my Easter egg of the thingy. Remember to always follow the scientific process.
That's the Easter egg for those who've listened all the way through. But yeah, alright, okay.
Or for the people who just watched the last 10 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, so anyway. Yep, so we'll catch up with this on another day. Thanks very much. See you later.